Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Here we go. We've made it to the national championship game. Number 1 versus number 1. Both teams with identical records at 35-4. The Florida Gators taking on the Houston Cougars for one team only at the end of tonight to cut down the nets and be crowned the 2025 national champion for Division I men's college basketball. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Alamo Dome, San Antonio, Texas for this matchup. It's 3 hours away from the Houston Cougars for this game. Florida coming into this game riding an 11-game winning streak. 29 straight combined wins between both of these teams. Houston, longest active winning streak in the country. 18 straight right now for the Cougars, as they have lost just 4 games of its entirety this season by a combined 14 points for Houston. Florida, slight favorite on the line, 1.5 point favorite. Houston all-time 2-0 in the all-time series. Kelvin Sampson, been to the Final Four a couple times in his collegiate career, but not to the national championship until today, his first ever time in the national championship for Kelvin Sampson, and shocking the world on Saturday, taking down the heavy favorites to win the bracket after Selection Sunday, the Duke Blue Devils, as Houston closed out the game with a 9-zip run. A 14-point comeback. They trail by 9 points with a minute and a half left to go, and just stunning the world in the shocking upset that happened as they hang their hats on the defensive side of the floor. And that motto, defense wins championships, we'll see if that does happen tonight, because Kelvin Sampson, he could have a magical night tonight here. He's at 799 career wins as a head coach, 299 coaching wins at Houston. He is 1 win shy of 300 at Houston and 800 of his collegiate career. But on the other side, you have an NBA elite level shot maker with Walter Clayton Jr. He is on a generational run in this tournament. 34 points against Auburn in the last game, 30 points against Texas Tech, making tough shot after tough shots. Gators and Cougars for the chip today. What should be a fun one with two teams who have the same exact record at 35-4. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Keep on sharing this out to everybody so we can get everybody out here to channel. What's good? Lucas, James, Anastasia, Pleasant Hill, Ian, Daniel, welcome back in here, folks. George in the channel, welcome back in for Virginia. for this game here. And hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win, Florida or Houston. My bracket, I'm going to stick with my bracket, so I had Florida, so I'm sticking with Florida, though I do have a feeling this could very well be Houston today, but I'm not going to change my pick, what I have for the Florida Gators. LJ Cryer looking to be the first player ever in college basketball history to win 2 different championships with 2 different schools. He won a championship with Baylor back in 2021, and a year coming out of COVID for LJ Cryer. He had a huge game against Duke, 26 points, drilled 6 threes. He's averaging just under 19 points per game in the tournament. Walter Clayton Jr. for Florida, averaging just under 25 points per game in the tournament. Just surreal tournament for these 2 guys. Florida looking for their 3rd national title, won the chip back in 2006 and 2007. Houston, they've never won the national championship before. 1983, 1984 runner-up. 3rd crack at it here. Kelvin Sampson, 1 win shy of 300 at Houston, 1 win shy of 800 in his collegiate career. And this could be a magical night for the 69-year-old head coach going up against Todd Golden, 30 years younger than him, which there's only been 2 head coaches ever to win a national championship since 1963 with 0 wins as a head coach before entering the NCAA tournament. Steve Fisher back in Michigan in 1989, Kevin Ollie for UConn in 2014. But yeah, this could go either way. This was, I did my top 5 picks. I'll get to that in just a moment. This honestly could go either way for this game here, based on this matchup. C. Smith, welcome in. Vegas, glad to have you back in. Let's get this on a slow mode once again here, folks. Been sticking with that 8-second slow mode throughout the tournament. We're going to get that popping back in here in the chat in just a moment. There we go. And yeah, keep on smashing that thumbs up here tonight. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You guys, the Legends MVPs out here to stream, really sticking to the channel throughout the course of this tournament here. I feel like Houston, they could have like a home court advantage here. They're 3 hours away from San Antonio. The Duke fans that bought tickets probably traded them out to people like on the street at bars or so, more so probably the Houston Cougars population that has invaded San Antonio. So that was heavily favored Houston in the arena against Duke on Saturday. Once Houston took the lead for good, the whole arena roared when Houston took the lead with under 30 seconds left. So yeah, they got like a home court advantage since they're only 3 hours away from San Antonio for this game. For Florida, this is where I got Florida here that they must do tonight. Key number 1, they're going to have to control the glass. Make sure that Houston doesn't come up with second chance rebounds. That's how Houston controlled the game against Duke, is that they came up with second chance rebounds. They've been doing it all season long. Best offensive rebounding team, or one of the top offensive rebounding teams in the country. They do through practice is what they do, is they put a lid on the rim and they go offensive rebound after offensive rebound for these guys, and they just wear you down with their physicality. So Florida must control the glass. They must be able to take care of the basketball. They struggled with that too against Auburn in their last game. They had like a 21% turnover rate on possessions. That's not going to cut it against the Houston team that just comes out, pressures the basketball constantly, and prides itself hanging their hat on the defensive side of the floor, comes up with multiple deflections, hustles, battles, fights for 50-50 balls, makes the game physical. So Florida has to compete hard in the glass, has to take care of the basketball. This is a Gators team that ranks 3rd in the country in scoring. They hit a bunch of elite-level shots. Walter Clayton Jr., big time for him. If Houston tries to lock him up tonight, they're going to have to figure out who else can step up. Elijah Martin had a great game. He had 17. He really physical guard for Florida for Elijah Martin. So he was excellent against Auburn, but they're going to need much more out of Will Richard tonight. And alongside Alex Condon. Alex Condon finished with just 1 point in the last game for him, so he's going to need to make a big impact in this game today. Florida is a really deep team. They have 3 7-foot guys on their team. They're the taller team going up against Houston. Houston, though, they got athletic front court dudes. Juwan Roberts, just a straight up hustler. Him and Tugler, both of those guys 6'8", 6'9", but they play more like they're 7 feet out there because of the 50-50 hustle plays that they make constantly. Houston's going to make this game physical. They're going to slow it down. They're going to muddy the tempo, and they're going to limit Florida's offensive chances as much as possible. And this Houston team can shoot lights out. They're 39.9% from the perimeter, the number 1 team in the nation in three-point shooting. And if Houston comes out, gets defensive stops, controls the glass, controls the game, slows down tempo, they're going to come out and win this game. I think it's going to depend on who wins the rebound battle in this game. So welcome in, everybody, and going to get to tip off in around 5 minutes right now. We will get to tip off in this one here. Steven, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Bradley, welcome in. Jeffrey, welcome in, bud. So sorry to hear that, man. My thoughts and prayers out to your godmother. So sorry to hear that, Jeffrey. Send my thoughts there and her recovery. Florida going with the blue jerseys tonight. Orange numbers, orange letters for this outline as they get the starters being announced right now for the Florida Gators. Alex Condon being announced. He's going to have to play much better than he did in the previous game. Both of these teams, no strangers to close games. Houston 8-4 in close games. They had a 14-point comeback to stun Duke on Saturday in the Final Four. They were down by 9 with a minute and a half left to go. Just, man, I was so shocked how that game finished up. That was insane. The ultimate choke 2.0. I coined the term there, the college basketball version. Just insane that choke job that Duke did. They scored just 1 field goal in the final 10 minutes of regulation for Duke against Houston on Saturday. This Florida team, I feel like, is different with them. They've been down multiple times in this tournament, but they surge late for this Gators team. They go on big surges. They had an 18-4 run that they closed out against Texas Tech. They surged late and beat UConn. They were down at halftime against Auburn, came back and won. And Florida they're very unpredictable with their surges. It can happen at any given time. And they started off half number 2 surging on a 9-zip run to get out in front of Auburn on Saturday afternoon. Florida 6-3 in close games, coming back against UConn, Texas Tech, and Auburn. Houston 8-4 in close games. This might need overtime, honestly. This might need overtime. I'm going to go to my top 5 picks for tonight here. So I took Florida in my bracket. I'm going to stick with Florida. Honestly, I would not be shocked if Houston wins tonight, because they do have the coaching edge. I think coaching with Kelvin Sampson, that could be a difference maker in this game today. But I'm still going to stick with my Florida pick here. So I'm not going to stray away from Florida, even though Houston has gotten the bulk of the public recently for this. Florida-Houston, I actually like the over. A lot of people going for the under just in case it goes to overtime. I feel like this game is going to be really good. It possibly could go to overtime. Last 11 out of 12 games, Florida has hit the over in, but Houston, best defense in the country, is going to force Florida to under 70 points like they did against Duke. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here. I think it's going to be really close to that over-under cutoff line. My prediction is 73-70 for the final score. So I like the over just a tad in this one tonight. Walter Clayton Jr. on a generational run in this tournament, over 20.5 points. We'll see if that happens tonight. He's averaging 32 points per game of the previous 2 for Walter Clayton Jr. Just monstrous what he has done in this tournament. Now, Houston's going to see if they can look to take him away and force other guys like Elijah Martin and Will Richard to score buckets. I really like Martin. Out of all 5 of those picks, I'm most confident about the number 4 one right there. Elijah Martin over 12.5 points. He had 17 in the last game. He's averaging around 15 in the tournament, averaging 14.6 points per game this season. So he knows that he's going to have to step up, and I think Elijah Martin, that's the most, out of the 5 picks there, that's the most confident one that I have is Elijah Martin over 12.5. And then LJ Cryer, he had massive bucket after massive bucket to win the game against Duke on Saturday. 17.5 on the over for him. I really like him today. Another one's his threes. His threes is only at 2.5. I like the over as well in LJ Cryer's threes today. He's been splashing threes left and right. He made 6 threes against Gonzaga in the second round, and then he had 6 threes the last game as well against Duke. So I think LJ Cryer, once again, he's going to have a big game. Other guys going to have to step up for Houston, too. Emmanuel Sharp in an off night. against Duke. It didn't matter. They picked up the win. Their defense, legitimate. Like always, defense wins championships. I mean, this game could go either way. If Houston comes out, plays physical, overwhelms Florida with their physicality, controls the glass, controls the rebounds, and gets their second chance points, Houston's going to win this game. But where I see this, just look at that statistically here, Houston does lack something, and that's 2-point shooting. Florida, where I see this game, is the 8th best defense at defending the 3-ball. This is something that not a whole lot of analysts have talked about. Florida has the number 8 best perimeter defense in the country currently. Houston has the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country. Now, Houston from 2, this is where it concerns me for Houston because they're 308th in the country, shooting just 48% from 2 for them. If Florida, because they got size, they got 3 7-footers on that team for Florida. If Florida comes out with that initial defensive rebound and forces Houston into tough twos and misses and away from the 3-point line, and Florida has a good chance to win this game. It comes down to rebounds. But then if Houston is missing that first 2 and then they come up with a second 2 and make that second 2 or kick it back out for a 3 and they make that shot from 3, then they're going to win the game. Houston has been struggling from 2. They shot just 13 for 39 from 2 against Duke, but they still won for them. So yeah, usually a team that ranks in the 300s in the country, they, in some statistical category, they usually don't win the championship. This can be an outlier, though, because this Houston team is the same percentage as Baylor when they won the chip back in 2021. Baylor ranked first in the nation, shooting over 40% from 3. Houston's at 40% from 3 this season, number 1 in the country in 3-point shooting. Here we go, about to start. If you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Type in the chat who you guys like to win here, Houston or Florida. About to start. Florida going right to left on the floor. Houston going left to right. White jerseys, red numbers, red letters for the Cougars. Florida, blue jerseys, orange numbers, orange letters. As we are underway, and Houston controls the opening tip. 2025 National Championship game has begun. Uzan sends it over to Roberts at the right baseline. Roberts backs his way on Condon. Roberts mid-block. Roberts inside off the pivot. Floats at the shot. Rattled out. No good. Out of bounds. Off of Houston. It'll be Florida ball. Exactly what I said. My last point was that Florida is going to have to force Houston into tough twos, which they struggle. 308th in the nation. If they do that, and Houston keeps on missing, and they limit them on the glass, then Florida has the chance to win this game. Good start right there off the opening possession. Just one possession, though, out of the many that we're going to see today. Steven, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, taking the Cougs in this one. First possession here for the Gators. Crossing midcourt, Walter Clayton Jr. Condon, handoff to Richard. Handoff around the perimeter, back to Clayton. Slides it off to his right. Condon outside to Clayton. Jacks about 30-footer off the rim, no good. Skidded off the rim out of bounds to the corner. It's a really tough shot. Looking for the Steph Curry level shot to begin this game there for Walter Clayton Jr., but unfortunately not able to knock that one down. Jay Ramirez, welcome in, brother. Thanks for joining back in. Yeah, I saw that. I was going through the analytics yesterday. Saw that I was at 9.9 million views. That's insane. Houston off the inbound. Uzan lobs it off to the top to Tugler. Tugler guarded around the perimeter. He dribbles up, drives on Chinyulu inside the key. Floats up the rudder, connects on it. Houston on the board first. Possession number 2 of the night here for the Gators. Top of the key with Walter Clayton Jr. as he dribbles towards his left around the perimeter. Slides it over to Condon. Condon off to his right. Handoff Richard. Pocket pass Condon. Condon at the low block. Condon underneath. He's defended off a double team. Condon swarm. Kick out to the wing. Catch and fire 3. Elijah Martin off the back rim. No good. A rebound control by Houston. Houston's defense looking the part right now as we go back. Houston basketball here. Sharp slides it on top over to Uzan here. Top of the key from Milos Uzan. Uzan off the screen set by Tugler. Dribbles up to the wing. Uzan slides it off to his right to Sharp. Sharp takes the 3. No good off the mark. Offensive rebound controlled by Tugler. A new 20 on the shot clock. 3-point shot skipped around. Tipped around. Houston with another offensive rebound. Houston winning the battle on the glass as they attack inside the paint. No good off the bottom part of the backboard. Missed by Sharp. And the rebound controlled by Chinyulu out of the pack. Clayton fires a bullet down low in transition. It's Condon who dunks it through with a 2-handed flush. First basket of the night for Florida going to Alex Condon, who scored just 1 point total against Auburn on Saturday. Uzan at the right wing perimeter. Guarded by Chinyalu, pass deflected. Condon almost came off with a pick right there, swiped away to the backcourt as Uzan was able to scoop it up. Uzan up the floor. Uzan at the wing, dribbles up, drives. Runner inside the paint, connects on it. Milo Uzan up and it off the glass, good for 2. Florida looking to see if they can pick up the pace. Lob down low. Condon blocked underneath. He got fouled. And the clock will stop with 17.5. Alex Condon, the big man right now, running the floor for the Gators. What's good, Warren? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Condon with 2 free throws coming up here for Florida at the free throw line as we're into the first 2.5 minutes of action. If you're doing a stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We get 60 plus watching. Let's keep on having everybody else keep on coming in for this one today. HG Wells, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. First one is good by Condon. Captain Saucy, welcome back aboard. Congrats there, bud. That's awesome. And you got $5,000 tonight in the Gators. Best of luck there. Alex Condon limited to just 38.5% in this tournament already with the first 3 points in this game for Florida. He was limited to 1 at the free throw line total points against Auburn in the Final Four. So he knew that he needed to be much better today. And look at that. He's got the first 4 points for the Gators tonight. Second free throw is good. Condon fouled out, shooting 0 for 5 against Auburn with 1 point on Saturday. What a difference 2 days makes. Houston with possession. Uzan slides it off to Cryer. Cryer off the dribble towards his left around the perimeter. Into the hands to Roberts. Roberts attacks the paint, floats up the runner off the back rim, no good. Tipped around, battle for the loose ball here, and Florida scoops it up with a rebound. They got numbers up the floor if they want to take it quickly. Will Richard, he'll slow it down. Lob down low. Chinyalu got held up, got fouled. This will stop the clock with 17:02 left to go. Referees aren't allowing Houston to play as physical as they would like, as Houston was holding up Ruben Chinyalu inside a low post, and 2 quick personal fouls charged to Houston as a team now. Joseph Tugler and Jawan Roberts each with a foul. Florida with 0 personal fouls currently in the first 3 minutes. Inbound goes to the wing. Here goes Elijah Martin trying to throw down a poster dunk over Roberts. Got stuffed out of bounds and it went off of Martin. Holy smokes. Holy. Elijah Martin tried to throw a poster. It's over Tugler. Missed off the front rim, and then Roberts came in, swatted it off of Martin out of bounds. Bounce pass off the roller, up and it off the glass. It is good for 2 points there by Tugler. 6-4 Houston. You like some big boy physicality basketball here. We got it right here, right now in this game. Tugler with 4. Clayton at the top. Fires a bullet down low. Over to Chinyalu. He fires it home and scores with a 2-handed flush. And we get a huge collision at the end of this play as Chinyalu comes on top of a Houston player who is down in pain. That is Tugler who hit the deck. We're in for an all-time generational game tonight. Make sure to call your family members. Tell your grandkids about this one. Holy moly. Tell your children, tell your grandkids, tell your great-grandkids about this game as Tugler will check out of the game right now. He heads off to the bench. 6-6. Houston with the ball. Uzan at the left wing. Lob on top over to Francis. Francis, top of the key. First time on the floor today. Just checked in, and Francis tried to throw down the slam dunk. He missed it. Back it goes to Houston with the offensive rebound as this ball gets tipped all over the glass, and eventually Florida is able to come up with a defensive rebound here. They lost it. Turnover. Cryer up the floor. 3-on-2. Jacks up the 3. Off the back rim, no good. Roberts tip back out to the perimeter. Another offensive rebound controlled by Houston. Emmanuel Sharp, deep range 3, no good, and Florida controls the defensive rebound. An absolute war right now in the first 4 minutes of action. Running the floor, the big fella. Up and in off the glass behind the defense for 2. That is the big man with Micah hand-logged in number 3 who just scored. Gators just so deep as a team. They rotate 3 7-footers on the roster. Sharp, deep 2, connects on it. We're tied up at 8. Yeah, this game is ahead for me probably because I'm using CBS Boston. CBS Boston, I know this is 15 seconds faster than CBS Providence, which CBS Providence is 15 seconds faster than CBS Hartford. And that is a turnover out of bounds committed by the Gators there. 8-8 as it takes us to the first media timeout. What a start tonight. My clock's actually a little bit behind. 15:05 left to go in the first. We have seen physicality at top notch in this game. 8-8 currently heading to the first timeout. If you're doing this stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. It's got 100 plus watching. Let's see if we can keep on growing here tonight. Make sure to share this stream out to as many people as possible. Let's keep it going and growing here. Seagull, what's good? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I've got it on like 3,500 or so for frames or so. So it's at like the start of the HD level. I don't put it on like, I don't crank it up to like 6,000 or like way higher. So I just have it on as like the top HD level so it doesn't bring up my CPU too high. Cody, glad to have you back in, brother. Alex Condon, the big man with a good impact so far. 4 points by Condon, 2 by Chinyalu. Hand-Logden with 2. Will Richard, he's got 3 rebounds. Walter Clayton with 3 assists. Houston led by Joseph Tugler. He's got 4 points. Jawan Roberts, 3 points. 2 each by Uzan and Sharp scoring. Houston already feasting on the glass 4-1 in offensive rebounds, 7-6 in total rebounds. Man, these guys are just batting the ball back to the perimeter and racking up multiple offensive rebounds starting off. Yeah, appreciate it, Captain Saucy. I actually work with a couple colleges. Some of them D3, some of them D1 that I work with. Still looking to work for a Power 5 someday. That's the big goal, is getting up to like a Power 5 or like a professional sports team. That would be the ultimate dream someday. But yeah, I work for a couple of D1s out there. I started this year back in September broadcasting for Brown for games on ESPN Plus. What's it? 25th and 27th this month. I got 2 dates later this month, and I'm back there. I got like 7 games I'm doing for a college water polo tournament that gets broadcast on ESPN Plus. So I go back there later this month to do its conference championships that I'm doing, which is pretty cool. Hey, what's good, Charliso? Welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. What a start to this game. Yeah, it's all going to come down to rebounding in this one here. This Houston team just so good with offensive rebounds. Florida, they have a bunch of size, but yet to limit Houston on the glass. Houston just so physical. They got athletes that's just boxing out, tipping rebounds. They're so fast and they're so active. Not sure just yet what my next stream will be. I got a pretty busy week for myself, so I'm unsure just yet, but probably within like the next week or so, hopefully, I'll have something. I'll post in the community tab when I have my next one coming up, but I'm not sure entirely just yet when I'll have it next. We get back to action 5 minutes through. Houston with a possession. Crier, top of the key, lob down low, try to throw down a poster dunk, and that is one that's executed to perfection. Javier Francis with a left-hand hammer. Holy moly. Florida couldn't get a poster dunk, and Houston just got one there. Grown men on this Houston Cougars squad. Martin, outside to the wing. A 3 taken by Hall. Left it short off the front rim. Rebound control by Francis for the Cougars. Houston looks real hungry 3 hours away from their home floor. The 3 missed off the mark. No good. A rebound tipped over to Florida for the defensive rebound. Holy smokes, what a start to this game. Both of these teams called from 3. Clayton well off the mark, cleated it up, and soaring up with a 2-handed flush is Haw with a putback jam. 10-10. The Seagull with a dono. Appreciate here with a dono, brother. Thomas Haw making a major impact in this tournament. 13-7-3 for points, rebounds, and assists he is averaging. Bounce pass over to the right wing. Jawan Roberts guarded by Haw 1-on-1. Roberts takes Haw at the low block. Roberts inside the key. Roberts looking for the turnaround hook shot. Roberts off the mark, no good. Out of bounds. Off of the Gators. It was off the hands of Logden. Man, this is going to be a phenomenal finish today. 35-4 versus 35-4. Insane. We've seen 2 attempted poster dunks. One of those was an excellent poster dunk that happened. The other one was one that didn't happen. Now the refs reversed the call on the floor. So the refs just reversed who will have this basketball. So this will be Florida possession here. So Logden pleading his case that it was out of bounds off Houston, but Logden got the benefit of the call after both of the referees met together. So this becomes Florida basketball. Clayton has yet to score so far. Coming off the screen, Clayton towards his right, brings the double, swings it across the floor. Wow, that was almost picked off. Top of the key, Haw with possession. Haw dribbles, drives down the lane inside, lost it, turnover. Houston with another forced turnover, stacking the box, stripping the basketball. Cryer at the left wing perimeter. Houston yet to turn it over. 3 turnovers by Florida so far. Cryer steps into a 3. Well, short offensive possession right back to Cryer. Hit the baseline, though, out of bounds. So it was off the air ball. It did touch the baseline. That's out of bounds off the Cryer 3. Holy moly. What a start in this game. Condon will get back into action as he replaces Elijah Martin, who takes a seat on the bench now for Florida. Just an insane game. 13-10 left to go in the first here. Gators with possession. Clayton been locked up so far. Clayton at the top. Slides it off to Haw. Back into the hands to Clayton. Clayton off the dribble towards his right. He's defended by Tugler around the perimeter. Clayton, 15 in the timer, calls for a screen to be set. Slides it off to Haw towards his left. Clayton, pull-up J. 30-footer off the back rim, no good. Tipped around and a rebound corralled by Javier Francis for Houston. Nothing so far tonight by Walter Clayton Jr. taking Steph Curry range type threes. Uzan, top of the key. Guarded by Thomas Haw here around the perimeter. This game's at the Alamo Dome out in San Antonio, so it's 3 hours away from Houston where they're playing this game. Uzan, 10 in the shot clock, switched here, guarded by Condon. Uzan dribbles up to the elbow. Rudder drills it for 2. Houston on top. 12-10 right now for the Cougars. Milos Uzan, perfect 2 for 2. He's got 4 points from the floor. Florida at the top of the key. Condon brings along a double team. Condon towards his left around the perimeter. Hand off to Clayton on top. Push pass down low. Condon kick out to the wing. Catch and fire 3. Florida will not count it though. Condon called in the travel. Inside the key, it's another turnover charge to Florida. Florida getting stifled right now by this Cougars defense. Just a relentless game so far here. This Houston team, man, holy smokes. They are locked. They are keyed in. They forced 4 turnovers. I'd say the upper hand right now is Houston because of how they're just wearing down Florida. Right now it's Houston. We still got a long way left to go, though. Florida needs to search for offensive answers currently. Hand off top of the key. Off to number 23, Terrence Arsenault, first time on the floor. He's guarded by Clayton here at the elbow. Almost lost the handle, got it back. 5 in the shot clock. Arsenault off to his left. They're going to have to launch. Malik Wilson, 2 in the shot clock, launching a prayer. That hit all glass. That is into the hands of Condon for the basketball with a rebound here. Florida with possession. Chinyalu posting up, lob down low, deflected. Intercepted by Houston with another steal. 5th turnover tonight by Florida. This Houston defense is just so good. Uzan. Kick out to the wing. Arsenault catch and fire 3 off the back rim, no good. Tipped around. Clayton collects the defensive rebound. 22 combined points approaching the 11-minute mark left to go in the first. Off the dribble towards his right, Clayton. No look pass, left wing Condon. Circles around the perimeter, outside to the right wing. It is Aberdeen. Aberdeen dribbles up. Jumper, 15-footer straight away off the glass, no good. Roberts controls the defensive rebounds. Houston is just incredible defense. Every single one of these guys, grown men, 22, 23, 24-year-olds, wants it more right now for this Cougar squad. Top of the key, Roberts drives, bouncing bodies right over Condon. Got it to go, up and in, through for 2. Jawan Roberts, just that type of dude. Florida in trouble. Deflected pass around the perimeter. Aberdeen picks it up. Aberdeen slides it off to his right. It's a 4-minute scoring drought almost for Florida. And Houston picks up a reach-in foul. That is charged to Tugler. And that's the second personal foul of the night, charged to Tugler. Clock stops with 10:18. And this will take us to a media timeout. 10:18 left to go. Florida, number 3 scoring team in the nation, right now struggling to generate offense, just 10 points with 10:18 left to go in the first. This Houston Cougars defense, just so good. Like all-time level elite defense. Man, Florida's got locked up. 0 for 5 from 3, 4 for 12 shooting. Florida actually leads the rebounds right now, 12-10, and the offensive rebounds now in favor of Houston, 4-2. Nobody has made a 3. Houston 0 for 7 from 3. Florida's 0 for 5. I thought we'd see some elite level shot making, honestly, in this game. It started off with a couple buckets with Condon running the floor, but this Houston defense just right now keyed in. They're loaded. They're locked in. 5 turnovers by Florida. Like, Florida's drawing blanks against this Houston defense. Like, these Houston guys, they're just grown adult men that's ready to play this game and smash their opponent. Yeah, that's why I said in the pregame, I took Florida in my brackets, but I stuck with that because I don't want to be switching or anything. But honestly, going into this game, I felt like Houston, 3 hours away from home, just the storylines for Houston. Like, they've been so close to winning a championship under Kelvin Sampson. Kelvin Sampson's looking for a career win 800 tonight in his collegiate career. Career win 300 at Houston. I mean, all the storylines are right there tonight for Kelvin Sampson. 30 years older than the head coach for Florida. If Todd Golden wins this for Florida, he'd become the 3rd head coach ever in NCAA tournament history that's won a national championship without winning a single NCAA tournament game prior to entering the brackets. And yeah, Kelvin Sampson, he's got his team ready. They're focused, they're locked in, and they're just scrapping and battling constantly. 50-50 balls, deflections. Florida just keeps on drawing blanks. This is not a good sign for Florida right now. I know they're a second-half team for the Gators, but this Houston team, based on their physicality, how they wear you down, that's going to take a toll of a 40-minute game. You're going to play 40 minutes to win the game, and that's how Houston beat Duke. It may have not been the best 35, 36 minutes, but it's all about how you close, and Houston showed up big time final 5 minutes and under, especially in the final minute and a half against Duke. They showed up. They closed it out. Absolute dogs on this Houston Cougar squad. Little concern for Tugler, though. Tugler just picked up his 2nd personal foul reaching in, so that took us to the timeout. He's got 2, and then Juwan Roberts with 3. Florida with no fouls right now, so that's a good sign for Florida. But Florida's, I mean, you got to get to the free throw line if you're the Gators. Florida's done that once, one trip. Condon made both of the free throws 2 for 2. And this is a Florida team that usually goes to the free throw line on quite a bit of a high rate for them, attempting around like 20-plus free throws or so. And Houston, what they love to do this year is that they lead the nation and made a 3-point shooting percentage at 40%. They've yet to make a 3 so far in this game. Neither is Florida. Houston back from the timeout with a deflection, a steal. Malik Wilson scores the layup. 16-10 right now, Houston. Yeah, Florida's in trouble. You got to take care of the basketball. 6 turnovers, but the Gators to 0 turnovers right now by the Cougars. They'll try it again. Aberdeen has it here at the top of the key. He's defended by Cryer 1-on-1. Aberdeen towards his right around the perimeter. Slides it on top over to Chinyelu. Chinyelu towards his left off the dribble. Hand off to Martin. Martin on top. Condon tries a 3. Off the back rim. No good. Battle for the rebound. And is kept alive here for the Gators underneath. Chinyelu. Kick out to the corner. Will Richards. Step back 3 in the air. Swoosh. That is good from the near side corner by Will Richard. Bang, bang. The first made triple the game. That's huge right there. They needed that one. Will Richard needed to play much better coming into this game, and that's a big-time shot to get his team winning 3. Off to Cryer. Cryer at the right baseline. Shovel pass over to Francis. Francis at the mid-block. Francis pivot. Francis down low. With a left hand, he scores. Up and through. It's good for 2 for the Cougars. 5-point lead for Houston, approaching the 9-minute mark left to go in the first half. Top of the key, Chinyelu slides it over to Richard. Richard takes the 3 and makes the 3 from downtown. Another big-time shot by Will Richard. Will Richard coming alive on back-to-back 3s for the Gators. They got a hot hand to start off this game. That was an elite-level contested 3 that he made straight away. Bounce pass Cryer off to the low block to Francis. Francis working one-on-one on Chinyelu. Francis underneath puts up the shot over Chinyelu. Makes it look easy right there for 2. Ruben Chinyelu having a tough time. Down low, they found the advantage there. Putting up buckets over the sophomore 6'11 center. Florida with possession. Condon, ball fake. Has it at the mid-block. Circles around the perimeter. Almost lost the handle. And he does. Florida saves it. No, lob to Condon. Outside to the top. Richard. 10 on the shot clock. Richard towards his left. Roll down finds Condon. Condon kick out. Top of the key. Open 3 by Richard. And they're not going to count it because Condon traveled with it. Turnover, Florida. 8 turnovers now by the Gators. Gotta have the handles. Florida drawing Blakes this entire game right now. Gleaming Circuits, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Taking Houston for this one. Hit us up in the chat who guys like to win this one, Houston or Florida. Cougars with possession. Pocket pass. Roberts lost it. Turnover. Florida got a 2-on-1. You got to score right here, right now. And they miss it. No good. Contested at the rim. That's an all-time hustle play. Back in the defensive side of the floor by Houston. Top defense in the country. Sharp blocked at the rim. As it went on the bounce off Sharp, it was hand-logged and who blocked it. It'll go back to the Gators as we're under 8 minutes left to go in the first, taking the media break once again. 7:42 left to go in the first half of action as Houston leads 20-16. Physical defensive rock fight we got here. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Florida is hanging in this game despite 7 total turnovers right now for this Gators team in a 3.5-minute plus scoring drought that they had at one point. Will Richard saving the Gators with 2 made 3s, the only 2 made 3s tonight, with 6 points by Richard. Javier Francis leads the way for Houston with 6. Houston knows what they have to do. They have to take it inside the paint on Ruben Chinyelu. Ruben Chinyelu having a tough time defending the interior against the Houston offense last couple possessions. Walter Clayton Jr. has 0 right now, so he's got nothing. He's been locked up. LJ Cryer has 0. He's got nothing as well. So the 2 guys that were absolute studs in this tournament have been locked up right now with no points. And also Elijah Martin's got 0. So it depends on who else shows up in this game, who can become the X factor. And then those guys eventually, as game goes on, they'll start to rise up. Eventually, so all depends on who rises up, who scores buckets, who steps up. Wow, what a start. Just a sensational start in this game. Just simply impressive, too, by Houston. Houston out-rebounded Duke in the last game, 42-31. It was 18-10 on the offensive glass. Right now, the rebound numbers, because that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Houston is actually trailing right now. So Florida leads the rebounds 14-11. Houston leads the offensive rebounds, though, 4-3. For Florida, you got to take care of the basketball. Got to take care of the basketball. Yeah, actually, Cody's been here for the last couple of years. If you want to be part of the mod squad, feel free to let me know, man. King Judo, welcome in. He's got the Gators for this one. It just seems like I took Florida in my bracket. I'm going to stick with my original pick, but honestly, I get a feeling that it could very well be Houston tonight because of the whole narrative and storybook storybook and storylines here for this game. Kelvin Sampson is 1 win shy of 800 in his collegiate career for him. He's 69 years old. He's 30 years older than Todd Golden for Florida. Todd Golden, the kid, versus the coaching legend Kelvin Sampson. Kelvin Sampson, 299 career wins at Houston. So really a lot for Houston that's at stake tonight. National championship, first time ever in program history. 1 win shy of 800 and 300 in his career. All time at 800, 300 at Houston for Kelvin Sampson. Al Horford winning the only 2 championships for Florida inside the house right now as we get back to action. Florida, nice roll down to the hoop there as they score up and through. It is good for 2 by Elijah Martin. Martin's on the board now. Ralph on the stream, again in Houston for this one. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, Houston's looking real good. They forced 7 turnovers by Florida so far in this game, and Florida commits their first personal foul. So the clock will stop with 7:13. The Houston redemption. Like, it goes to show, this will be free throws coming up here by Jawan Roberts. It goes to show Houston with this team that it's the players that's bought in and they stay with the program year after year after year. It's the continuity with the program that certainly helps out, because these guys have been here for the most of the players on the team. They've been here since the very start of the program. First free throw is good. Whereas some of the other teams are rebuilding off the portal completely. But Houston, it's the guys who stick at the school. And most of them have throughout their 4 or 5 seasons. Second free throw was missed at the line by Roberts. 3-point game, top of the key with Haw. Slides it over to his right to hand logged. And they got 2 big men out on the floor right now for the Gators. Elijah Martin at the top. Clayton is on the floor as well. Martin, 10 on the shot clock. Slides it off to his left to Clayton around the perimeter here. Clayton moves on top to hand locked and fires a bullet. Far side corner off to Richard. Richard, jab step. Richard, dump off to the corner. Got a launch. You got 1 on the shot clock, and they do, and it's well short. And that is a shot clock violation charged to Florida. Houston got a piece of that ball and blocked it off the runner attempt by Thomas Haw. Got to be aware where the shot clock is if you're the Gators there. Houston's defense just an absolute force, absolute relentless in this game. Cougars by 3 with possession. Coming off the screens, Cryer. 7 field goals made by Florida with 8 total turnovers in this first half. Cryer, dish outside, Sharp. He's a sharpshooter. No good off the mark. Left it too strong off the glass. The rebound controlled by Richard. Florida's gotta go right now. Clayton, yet to score. Looking to change that. Put up a 30-piece in the previous 2 games. Kick outside. Quarter 3. It is good. Oh, that was smooth. Will Richard, bang, bang. We're tied up 21 even. Walter Clayton Jr. lobbed it over to number 10, Thomas Haw, inside the paint, and then he kicked it out ASAP off a push pass to the corner. Kicked it out to the corner shooter with Will Richard, and Will Richard tonight came to play. Third made triple in this game in the opening half. Cryer from long range, bullseye. Scoring start to pick up right now. LJ Cryer knocking down the 27-footer. Gators with possession. Clayton still yet to score. Looking to change that. Slides it off to his left to Haw. Dribble, drive, and dump off down low inside. Huge rejection by Houston as hand logged in. Gets swatted by Roberts. Lob over the top. Houston running the floor with a 2-hand alley-oop slam. It's a 5-point lead by the Cougars. Defense translates into offense. Houston forces a tie-up. It will stay Florida possession. You got big boys, adult men, bullying other boys out here on the floor. These are grown men on Houston. Big time grown men. Houston Blockfest. 4 blocks in this opening half. Gators with a possession. Follow a 3 off the rim. Short miss by Clayton. Tipped around. And Houston collects the defensive rebound. 5-point lead right now for the Cougars. Cryer. He's got 3. Kick out. Quarter. Malik Wilson. Side step to his left with a 3. Cha-ching! Open up the bank right there. That's a quarter 3 that he just banked in. 29-21. Houston on an 8-zip run. Last 50 seconds. They're on a kill shot right now. Top of the key with Condon. Condon off the dribble towards his right. Florida in trouble. Currently, it has a travel. Travel violation committed by Florida. It will go back to the Cougars. Number 1 defense in the land by a mile. And their defense about to win them a championship if they keep on playing like this tonight. 4:46 left to go in the first half. Big 12. Looking real good here. Looking to win a chip 3 hours away from San Antonio out in Houston, Texas. What a start for Kelvin Sampson's squad. 29-21 Houston. Yup. What a run that they made in the tournament with the teams that they faced for Houston. They got SIU Edwardsville, their first round matchup, and they played against Gonzaga, which was not your typical 8 seed for Gonzaga. The analytics showed Gonzaga more as like a 3 or a 4 seed for them. They should have gotten a 6 seed in my opinion for them, but the advanced analytics would have had them at a 3 or a 4. For them, and that was not a typical 8 seed. That was a Gonzaga team that was up 27-3 at one point against Georgia, and then after that they won at the buzzer on an incredible inbound against Purdue. That was a game that LJ Cryer was limited to 5 points, and then they smashed Tennessee in the mouth starting off that game, led 27-8 at one point in the first half. And then they come from behind, 14 points trailing to beat Duke. This Houston team with just some big grown men. The big boys, grown physical men on their team. Just smashing Florida right in the mouth. 6 different scores right now for Houston. 7 points by Malik Wilson, 6 by Javier Francis, 4 by Tugler, 4 by Uzan, 3 by Cryer, 3 by Roberts. That is just some really solid balance there. It's Grass, welcome in, thanks for joining in. Yeah, Houston looks sensational right now. If you guys are new to the stream, we got 300 plus watching almost right now. Smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And Florida just drawing up blanks here. 9 turnovers, 8 made field goals. This is not a good start for a team that's averaging 85 points per game, held at 21 right now. 9 points by Will Richard, who is basically saving his team. He's made all 3 threes. They're 3 for 10 from 3. But Will Richard is perfect, 3 for 3 from the perimeter for him. Nothing by Walter Clayton Jr. He has been forced off double teams to just get locked up in this game, and that's forced him into becoming a playmaker. He's got 3 assists and 2 turnovers right now for Walter Clayton Jr. He's made a lot of dangerous passes on no-looks across the floor, a couple of them threading the needle that they were able to score, luckily for Florida to at least hang in down by 8. But yeah, that difference in this game is turnovers. 9 turnovers by Florida, 1 turnover by Houston. Yep. Right now it's showing here for Houston. There's just certain steps you have to take to win a championship. Kelvin Sampson has been in deep runs before with his team. Just haven't gone into the championship at Houston until right now for him. So there's certain steps that you have to take, and he's taken it. 2022 Elite 8 with Houston. Final 4 appearance for Houston back in 2021. And then at Oklahoma, he made back-to-back Final 4 Elite 8 appearances in 2001 and 2002. So he's been here before. Different type of environment. Houston jumper, no good off the mark. Offensive rebound controlled by Arsenault. And ripped away, though, by Condon. That's a huge possession there for Florida as Condon ripped it away out of the hands of Arsenault. Referees let it play out. Lob goes to Chinyelu. Chinyelu been a major minus so far tonight for the sophomore for Florida. Top of the key, Will Richard, who has saved his team. No look, passing a dime down low. Condon up and it off the glass, scores for 2. Wow. I think that was Elijah Martin who just fired a bullet backdoor to no look over to Condon. Condon with 6 right now. Houston with possession. Left wing perimeter, LJ Cryer. We're down to 4 minutes left to go in the first. Cryer defended on the outside by Will Richard. Draws the double. Moves down on top off to Wilson. Wilson jacks up the 3. Off the back room, no good. And it sails out of bounds. This will be Gators ball. Yeah, Houston looking like they're letting up just a tad right now. But It's going to take us to the under 4 media break. This playmaking that Florida has, that's kept them right in the game. That last assist, that was incredible. They're making some, like, incredible no-look dimes for them that other teams could not pull off against this Houston defense. So credit for Florida for hanging in the game right now, because the passes that they have assisted on, they've got 6 assists off 9 main field goals. All 6 of those assists have been really difficult assists. Like, they had to work so hard for all those assists, like no-look passes constantly for them. Like, those passes were threading the needle for them. That's some NBA level type playmaking ability right there. We're right now in the timeout. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, up to 275 plus. You guys, the real legends, for coming on in, being a part here tonight on the channel. Hit us up on the stream in the chat here. Who you guys like to win, Florida or Houston? Right now, the Gators up by 10% in the poll, 55-45. Though Houston with the upper hand in this one by 6, 29-23. Snake, welcome back in. Yeah, yet to see that big run by Florida. I still think they're capable of doing it. It's just going to be difficult to do going up against this Houston defense. But last couple plays, Houston was last couple plays didn't look like their usual selves, where they smashed Florida during the last time out. We saw it was a rebound. It was Condon who ripped it away from the hands of Arsenault. So Condon that ripped the ball away from the hands of Arsenault. And that's something you don't see too often. It's usually Houston winning the 50-50 rebounds. Yeah, these are some bad boys in this Houston team. Some big boy, adult, grown men basketball players right here they got. That's what we've seen throughout most of this first half, is just grown men ball with Houston. Just bully ball. What's good, Heat Bobby? Welcome back in. Good balance as well for Houston. Walter Clayton Jr. still has yet to score. No points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 0 for 4 shooting. All 4 shot attempts have been from 3. Malik Wilson, he is the leading scorer in this game for Houston. He has got 7. 6 points by Javier Francis. That's 13 points coming off the bench by Houston, compared to just 4 by Florida. 4 points each by Tugler and Roberts. 3 points each by... 4 points each by Tugler and Uzan. Roberts and Cryer have 3 each, and then 2 by Sharp. And Will Richards has saved this game right now for Florida. 3 made threes, 9 points, 5 rebounds by Richard. He has saved the team right now. It's a lot of physicality out there. And Florida drawing up a lot of question marks against that Houston physicality. Clayton moves it off to the left wing perimeter. Richard, lob to Condon as we get back to action here. Backing his way inside the key is Alex Condon. Hook shot blocked by Roberts. And the ball rolled out of bounds and went off of Houston, I believe, last. It's been a block and deflection fest. 5th block of the night by the Cougars. And that's the 2nd block of the game by Jawan Roberts. Flying J, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it there. Inbound for Florida. Jumper, open, got it. That is good for 2. Will Richard having a really good game so far tonight in double figures with 11. That's a rare mental lapse mistake there defensively by Houston, allowing a little bit of space for Richard, a jump shooter, to operate in a deep 2J at the elbow. 4-point game here. Approaching the 3-minute mark left to go before halftime. Uzan looking to move it to somebody here. Uzan slides it off to his left to Francis. Back into the hands to Uzan. 5 in the shot clock. Uzan, left wing, 2 in the shot clock. Launches a contested 3 off the back rim. No good. Condon controls the defensive rebound. Condon will bring it up the floor. Puts the ball into the hands of Walter Clayton Jr. crossing midcourt. Clayton still yet to score. Lob to Condon at the elbow. Dish down low. Chinyelu. Double team. Hook shot off the back rim. No good. A rebound secured by Houston. Ruben Chinyelu just too strong of a touch there. He has been a major minus for this Florida team so far tonight. Wilson dribbling through traffic. His jumper 15 feet away, skipped around the rim and out. Here goes Clayton. Clayton at the elbow. Outside on top off to Condon. Condon around the perimeter, puts the ball into the hands to Richard. Lob to Condon. Condon double teamed. Condon looking to pass it back outside. He does. Martin catch and fire three. No good. Around the rim and out. Wilson controls the defensive rebound. Houston by 4, down to 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Houston, 13 field goals made, just 1 turnover in this game. Florida, 10 field goals made, 9 turnovers. That's the difference in this first half right here. I'm going to go no for that for combining for 8-3. So I'm going to go under that, it looks like, for tonight. Here goes Cryer. Jumper to elbow. Connects on it. It's a 6-point lead for the Cougars. LJ Cryer got 5 right now. Florida with possession. Top of the key, Chinyelu. Hand off to Richard. Richard at the left wing. Jacks up a 3. Left it off the rim. Short ball went out of bounds. Off of the Gators. And Richard asking the officials. He thought it was out of bounds off Houston. So this will be Houston basketball coming up. Minute 22 remaining before halftime. Inbound for the Cougars. Houston 14 for 34 shooting, 10 for 27 by Florida. LJ Cryer at the right wing perimeter. 13-4 bench points in favor of Houston. Cryer towards his right around the outside. Cryer slides it off to Roberts. Roberts at the free throw circle. Roberts dribble, drive, right down the lane inside. Tipped over to Cylinder, no good. They were looking for a defensive goaltend. Couldn't get the call there. Florida with a possession. Jumper, quick release, and he's got it. Will Richard saving his team, just drilled his 4th made 3 to opening half. 3-point game. Will Richard has half of the points in this opening half here for the Gators. 40 seconds left to go. Houston with possession. Uzan crosses midcourt, burns the timeout with 34 seconds left. What a start tonight. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. Will Richard keeping Florida hanging in this game with 14 out of the 28 points. Man, is he finding his shot tonight or what? 4 for 5 from 3, 5 for 7 from the floor by Will Richard. That already surpasses his season average. He averages 13.3 points per game for Will Richard. Bounce back game big time. Florida right now is +4 on the glass, 21-17. It's just turnovers. That's been the story of this game. Struggling against the physicality, struggling to take care of the basketball. 11 made shots from the floor by Florida to 9 total turnovers. Houston, 14 made shots to just 2 total turnovers. Florida had that issue, too, against Auburn in the last game. They came out in the first half. They turned over the basketball a ton and then started to take care of the basketball much better in the second half. 31-28 in the front court. Houston inbound. It goes from Uzan to Roberts. Back into the hands to Uzan. 11-second differential between shot clock and game clock to close out the opening half of action. Uzan slides it off to the left wing. Malik Wilson around the perimeter. Puts the ball into the hands to Cryer. Cryer, 8 in the shot clock, 19 in the game clock. Cryer launches a 3. No good. Hit the bottom part of the glass. Offensive rebound. Uzan jacks up the 3. That's an air ball out of bounds. 12 seconds left. This will be Florida basketball. And Florida with a chance to see if they can draw within 1 or tie it up going into halftime. The unthinkable, as they look like they were out of it at one point in this game. Gators with possession. Clayton yet to score. Clayton gets the way towards his right. Richard, 3 seconds. Crossover. Richard, jumper at the buzzer. Got knocked down. No call by the referees, though, as it hit the back iron. No good. We close out to go to halftime. 31-28, Houston. Locking up the Gators in the opening half. It's the Cougars by 3. First half blew right by. Not many personal fouls, not many free throws. Straight up physical bully ball on full display by the Houston Cougars. 3 personal fouls by Houston, just 1 personal foul charge to Florida. So we don't need to be talking about foul trouble or anything for quite a while in this game because there is none. It's just been straight up physical bully ball. 2 teams with a 35-4 record. And Houston taking it to Florida in that opening half. Grown men playing a grown men game out there. That's what it looks like. Everybody talked about Florida being the deeper team. We got to see that. Got to see that in the second half because it's Houston right now leading the bench points. 13-4 Houston in the first half in bench points. 7 different players have scored for Houston. The concern here for Florida, Walter Clayton Jr. yet to score, as Houston just has him on full lock mode this entire game right now. Just got him locked up. No points, 5 assists though, 0 for 4 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3 for Walter Clayton Jr. 14 points by Will Richard tonight. He is legit saving this team for Florida. After that, Alex Condon's got 6. Everybody else with 2 or 0. So Martin and Clayton going to have to step up big time in the second half. Houston doing a really good balance with their scoring. 7 points by Malik Wilson. He is the top scorer. And then LJ Cryer, he's got 5. 6 points off the bench by Javier Francis. Yeah, Ruben Chinyelu, he's giving the Gators negative minutes right now. They're going to have to stay away from Chinyelu in half 2 because whenever he's been out there, he's been vulnerable to allowing the Gators to torch him, or the Cougars to torch him inside the low post. He's been put on one-on-one matchups, and he's been losing those matchups down low. And that's not a good sign right there. But Florida actually is leading the rebound advantage tonight. 22-19 total rebounds, though Houston, their specialty offensive rebounds, they lead that number 6-4 right now for Houston in offensive rebounds. Interesting part about it is that Houston has scored 14 field goals. They've only assisted on 3 of those. Florida scored 11 field goals. They've assisted on 8 of those. Every single one of those assists was like they had to work so hard for. Like elite level passes that they made with like no look passes fired, or that they made on all those passes. That's how good the Houston defense is that nothing has been given to Florida in terms of their scoring. Everything, they're going to have to go out and earn it, and that's exactly what happened in the first half. 28 points, and against the number 1 defense, they had to earn all 28 of those points, but at a cost, they also turned it over 9 times against the top defense in the land because Houston was swarming all over the place out there with constant defensive ball pressure, and it was drawing up blanks by Florida throughout most of that first half. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We got 230 plus watching. Really appreciate everybody for joining in, being a part of the channel for this one today. What a half indeed. What a first half. What's going on with Walter Clayton Jr.? He's drawing double teams. He's got locked up against the best defense in the country. So this is the best defense in the country, Houston. They put their game plan of focusing on Clayton, making sure that he doesn't get any easy shot attempts off. There has been 0 easy shot attempts this entire game for Florida, besides 1 shot attempted to elbow that was open by Will Richard. That's it. They've scored 11 field goals. 10 of those field goals they had to work for desperately to score in all 10 of those field goals. So Walter Clayton Jr. has got locked up against this Houston Cougars defense. It's like Peyton Pritchard against the Oklahoma City Thunder, getting locked up against absolute dogs like Lou Dort, SGA, all those guys locking him up. Yeah, thanks so much, Wells. Appreciate it, man. He has 5 assists. So they've taken him completely out as a scorer, that he has to become a playmaker. So that's what he's done. 5 assists for Walter Clayton Jr. It's just wherever he's dribbling to, they're bringing 2 guys right at him, just getting right up in his grill right after him, that he can't get any like quality looks out. Yeah, if I'm Florida and I'm trailing in the final minute of this game, I'm really worried. I don't think this Florida team comes out on top tonight if they're down by like a point or two in the final minute and need a clutch bucket against this Houston Cougars defense. I don't think they're gonna get it here against this Houston Cougars defense. This defense is just so good that you gotta earn every single point that you got. 28 points allowed by Houston. I'm just going to see in comparison what that is to the other games that they played in this tournament. That game against Tennessee, they pounded Tennessee in that first half. They gave up 34 to Duke. Yeah, so Duke scored 6 points greater than Florida. Gave up 24 to SIU Edwardsville. Gave up 27 to Gonzaga, which is one of the top offenses. So Gonzaga was a point shy than Florida at halftime. Gonzaga scored 49 on Houston's defense in the second half. They were playing a lot of catch up there at half too. That's odd. They gave up 31 to Purdue. Yeah, they didn't play a great game against Purdue. That game, they barely got by Purdue, which was stunning because I thought out of all the teams in the Sweet 16, Purdue was like one of the weakest teams for them, coming off a win against High Point and McNeese. And then, yeah, they completely locked up Tennessee. They allowed Tennessee to 15 points. It was 34 to 15 at halftime. Yeah, just insane. It was just, there was a 10-minute stretch to close out the game where Duke made just one field goal. That was it. That's how good the Houston defense was. Like, Duke was drawing up blanks on shooting shots against Houston. It's just, the Houston defense is just incredible. And then late game situations, what the issue was for Duke is that Duke team kind of reminded me of the 2022 Celtics when they lost against Golden State. And the Celtics led that series early on. The first game, Celtics pounded Golden State in game 1 of the series. Everybody was like, oh, yeah, this series is going to be quick. Celtics could win it in 5 and 6. But, and then what happened is that Celtics were up by double digits. They blew the game 2 lead against Golden State. And Golden State came back and won that game, changed the entire trajectory of the series because the Celtics couldn't finish in crunch time at all. That's what the Duke team reminded me of this year, the 2022 Celtics, where they crushed a bunch of opponents. They blew out a bunch of opponents by like 20, 25, 30 points, but with the games right on the line that matter the most, with like crunch time opportunities, they have trouble closing those games out. And that was the issue there for Duke in the last game. I looked back because I remember when I was calling that, I looked back at the profile for Duke. I was like, oh boy, this is not looking good for Duke. I went right directly to their schedule, saw all the double-digit wins and then the losses, all close losses that they lost against this year. Lost against Kentucky, lost against Kansas. Lost against Kentucky 77-72, lost against Kansas 75-72, lost against Clemson 77-71. And then all the other teams, they basically had like double-digit wins besides UNC, where they won because of a lane violation against UNC. All the other games basically were decided for the most part by double digits, with a few that were closer that Duke won by like, they beat Auburn by 6. But in crunch time situations, Cooper Flagg couldn't get it done. He went 0 for 3 this year, or he went 0 for 4 this year in crunch time situations for Cooper Flagg. So every single loss for Duke in crunch time situations, Cooper Flagg went 0 for 4. Couldn't hit the game-winning shot against Kentucky. I remember the game against Kentucky. He turned it over with like 30 seconds left, and it gave Kentucky the ball, and then Duke committed a foul, and then Kentucky won that game. Couldn't hit the game-winning shot against Kansas. Couldn't hit the game-winning shot against Clemson, and then couldn't hit the game-winning shot against Houston on Saturday. So Cooper Flagg, he turned 18 back in December. Only 18 years old, but 0 for 4 in game-winning shots this year for him, and that's the result of the 4 losses on the board for Duke this year. Grayson, what's good? Welcome in. He's got Florida for this one. Yeah, they didn't call that. So they got it right now, 31-28 at half. They never called that. Yeah, Florida's going to have to take care of the basketball. That's the big key. Henry, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. 9 turnovers. Yeah, I think they had a lot of turnovers in that first half against Auburn, too. I'm going to see if I can go back to that game log here. I think they do it by a breakdown on one of these sites, by like halves. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, no, that's the turnover percentage. Yeah, Florida had a 19% turnover percentage against Auburn. Wow, they don't break it down by halves over on Sports Reference. I know they do that for NBA games, so unfortunately they don't break it down by halves over on there. Wow. Yeah, it's not going to shock me if Houston wins tonight. Like I'm seeing right now, grown men basketball wearing down the Gators. So watching this game, honestly, it's not going to shock me if Houston wins. I'm somebody who doesn't like to change once I made the initial pick. If you guys didn't know, I took Florida in my bracket to win the entire tournament. So I'm going to stick with it, even though going into this game, I was quite concerned because of the turnover issues. And also, like, Houston's defense is so good that they're just locking them down right now. And the physicality that was displayed. Yeah, Florida, their worst loss of the season came in a 20-point loss against Tennessee. They lost 64 to 44. The issue there in that game was that they had a lot of issue with the physicality. Couldn't make shots against Tennessee. Tough time, limited to 44 points for a team that averages 85. And they haven't... See, Houston's a much, much better version than the physical Tennessee team. Is everything that Tennessee does, Houston does it a whole ton better, and that's why Houston smashed Tennessee. And it's just, we see here grown men playing bully ball by Houston. Houston's leading scorers off the bench. That's Malik Wilson. He's got 7. Malik Wilson banked the corner 3 at one point. Yeah, Houston led. It was 29-21, where they had an 8-point lead. Looked like they were going to run away with a game. Props out to Florida. Florida closed out the half on a 7-3 run for Florida. Houston had an alley-oop jam that closed out that run to get themselves in an 8-point lead. Largest lead of the game, 29-21. Before that, they had banked the corner 3 with Malik Wilson, and then there was a massive block that they got, and then they were running the floor in transition. It led to an alley-oop jam, and that's when I thought for sure that this game could get real ugly, and this game could be like the turning point towards making this game look like it was over. So props for Florida for getting this game within 1 possession right now, because this game certainly is not over at this point. Yeah, I went with the over in this one. It's not looking so hot right now. I was thinking possibly overtime in this game because these two teams are so even. And yeah, this is not looking so hot right now. 59, yeah, it's looking like it's going to go under, unfortunately. Like, well under. Yeah, we're midway to 118. Yeah, I was looking at the elite level shot makers. I was thinking more of like Gonzaga, Houston, that second round game where both of those teams scored into the like 80s. I think it was 81-76. I was thinking more like that, not as high. I had it as 73-70. Yeah, Florida, they surge on a run. It comes out of nowhere for Florida. In order to do that, they're going to have to get Walter Clayton Jr. going. He's got nothing right now. Houston's defense is just keyed right in on him and limited him in this entire game. There's a second half to be played in. I mean, anything could happen. It's just based on that first half. You got big boy physicality displayed by Houston. It just feels like the whole storylines and narratives are going to bring Houston this title. The head coach has been coaching for 30 plus years. Kelvin Sampson is 30 years older than Todd Golden. Kelvin Sampson, if he wins this game, it'd be his 800th career win all time, his 300th career win at Houston. I mean, that means a lot more. These guys, with what the pep talk must have been in that locker room. One more half left to go before 800 and 300 for Sampson to get it done. This Houston team lost, but 4 losses they have were by a combined 14 points, and 4 of those losses were in overtime for them. They only lost once in regulation. That was against Auburn. So here's the losses they had this year. They started off the season at 4-3 for Houston. So the first month they struggled at 4-3. Lost on November 9th against Auburn, the only game that they weren't taken to overtime, 74-69. The 4 other losses after that, they went into overtime. Lost to Alabama 85-80. Lost to San Diego State 73-70. Lost to Texas Tech 82-81. Or those are the 4 losses. The 3 others, they went into overtime. Very odd that this team lost to San Diego State on the day after Black Friday. It's very odd. So what was that against the SEC they went? They went... makes the storyline for redemption, too, for them, because they're 0-2 against the SEC this year. Yep. They're 0-2 against the SEC. Lost to Auburn and Alabama coming into the bracket. Then they beat Tennessee, so they're 1-2 right now against the SEC. They have the Tennessee win in the Elite Eight. I want to see how Florida stacks up against the Big 12. They get the win against Texas Tech. Looked like they were done in that game. Like this Florida team, and they go on some sort of run. That run hasn't hit just yet, so it could surge someplace in the run. Arizona State they beat, which is Big 12. That was a non-conference. That's the only other Big 12 that they played against. So they're 2-0 against Big 12 teams. Yeah, there's like certain steps you have to take to like win championships. And that's also a tale of this Houston story. Kelvin Sampson took this team to a Final Four in 2021. An Elite 8 in 2022. Last year, they were the number 1 seed in the tournament. They lost to Duke. Their star player, Jamal Shead, got injured in that Sweet 16 game. And then there's a reason why. It's Kelvin Sampson, the Houston redemption. They're 1 half away if they can hold off Florida for winning the national championship. It just seems like the storyline's just right there. Yep, defense wins championship, the motto. Usually it's like the number one three-point shooting team as well that usually wins a title here and there. Baylor did it back in 2021. They shot above 40% from three. This Houston team ranks first in the country in three-point shooting percentage. Like every single year, people are like, why doesn't Kelvin Sampson go out and recruit shooters? Well, this year he's got 3 guys in the backcourt that can light it up. We haven't seen it so far tonight, though. If Houston starts to get hot from 3, this game's going to be over. 2 for 14 from 3 by Houston. That's only 14%. LJ Cryer made 1 3. He's 1 for 5 for the perimeter. Malik Wilson, 1 for 2. Cryer, by the way, is a 40% perimeter shooter. So is Milos Uzan, and so is Emmanuel Sharp, who's only got 2 points on 1 for 7 shooting. One more half indeed. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win here, Houston or Florida. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. The good part about it is that this game tipped off at 8:50 p.m. It's a half an hour before its usual scheduled time in years past at 9:20. So I like that part. Since I'm on the East Coast, it allows me to get to bed before midnight, unlike the last couple of years. But also, yeah, I was actually able to get in like an hour worth of rest once I got home from work, so that was pretty cool. So I feel like much better and energized compared to working the whole day from 8 to 4, coming home and then starting to like schedule stuff and putting together the stream stuff, and then often streaming by the time we get to 7. Like it usually is or so. So it's good that this game started at 8:50, which gives me like an hour to like debrief and stuff like that. Walter Clayton Jr., nothing so far for him. He's got back-to-back 30-point games in the tournament. Going to have to show up here for Florida in the second half if he wants to lead his team to a comeback victory. LJ Cryer for Houston, just 5 points for him, shooting 1 for 5 from the perimeter in the first half. Here we go, right to left on the floor. Houston with the basketball as we start off half number 2. Roberts. Top of the free throw circle. Sends it back outside over to Cryer. It's Cryer, Roberts, Uzan, Sharp, and Tugler. The 5 on the floor currently for Houston. 10 on the shot clock. Cryer, top of the key, guarded by Clayton. Cryer thought about the step back. Sends it off to his right to Roberts. Roberts, 5 on the shot clock. Bouncing bodies. Huge collision. They're going to call it on Condon on a defensive foul. Wow. Let's see, Juwan Roberts, lower, oh, wow, he lowered a right shoulder in the Condon. Usually, in games past, that would be called a charge, but Condon there called in a defensive foul on the floor, so this will allow Houston to get the inbound. Houston has missed their last 7 out of 8 shot attempts. Cryer has it here at the right wing, crossover, step back 3 in the air, got it! LJ Cryer, bang, bang, a laser from the perimeter. 6-point lead for Houston. Florida looking to get going here in the scoring column. Chinyelu on the floor with Condon, Walter Clayton Jr., Elijah Martin, Will Richard. He was great in the first half, attacking baseline. Backdoor layup, blocked from behind. That is Tugler who came up with a block for Houston. 6th block of the game for the Cougars, and Clayton blocks the shot attempt by Sharp out of bounds from 3. 6 blocks in this game. Juwan Roberts has 3 blocks, 2 blocks by Francis. They actually credited that to Roberts, so that was Roberts' 3rd. Tugler's right next to Roberts. Uzan off to his left around the perimeter. Sharp bounce pass over to Roberts. Roberts 8 on the timer. Roberts spin cycle. Roberts fall away. Roberts off the glass. No good. Florida controls the defensive rebound with Condon. Clayton still yet to score. Clayton fires a bullet down low over to Condon. Shuts the door with a 2-handed flush. Assist number 6 in the night by Walter Clayton Jr. Alex Condon. He's got 8 points. Could have the game in the making tonight here. Coming off the screen, LJ Cryer open 3 off the back rim, no good. Tipped around. Chinyelu with a big defensive rebound. Ruben Chinyelu has a positive plus for once here on the floor. Top of the key with Clayton and away from the basketball. What happened here? Oh, it's gonna be a turnover. Charge to Florida. Offensive foul. Charge the Gators. Away from the basketball. Bad personal foul there. Charge to Florida. Yeah, Todd Golden unhappy about the last call. Down by 4. That's a critical possession there. That doesn't go in the Gators' direction. Houston with possession. Uzan at the right wing. Milos Uzan defended by Clayton. 12 of the shot clock. Takes him inside the key. Spin move. Uzan jumper mid-range, and he got fouled. 2 free throws coming up for Houston with Milos Uzan. Alex Condon, big body check called an offensive foul. That's now 2 quick fouls in a row charged to Condon to begin the second half. And 2 free throws coming up at the line here for Houston. 10 turnovers by Florida tonight. Houston with just 2. Vinny, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. First free throw is good. Second free throw. That is good as well for Uzan. 6-point advantage right now for Houston. 36-30. Will Richard at the top of the key. Condon still on the floor with those 2 personal fouls. He has possession here at the top. Slides it off to Martin. Martin puts the ball off the screen to Clayton. And it's another turnover charge to Florida. Offensive foul once again underneath the hoop. This time charged to Will Richard. Todd Golden talking to the officials. Cannot believe the call is going on right now. Another illegal screen well away from the play. Well away from the basketball. The ball was around the perimeter. It happened underneath the rim where that illegal screen was set. Right baseline dribble. Cryer circles around. Handoff gets it back from Tugler. Cryer at the top. And Houston called on... Or no, that's on Florida. That's on Florida. That's on Richard again, away from the play. That is on Richard again, away from the play. Florida, you got 5 fouls right now in the first 2 minutes and 39 seconds of the second half. This is really not looking good. Really not looking good right here. And Houston will head to the free throw line with Cryer. He buries the free throw. This is starting to slip away from Florida here. There was a technical charge to Todd Golden. So technical free throw was just made. And now Cryer will shoot another free throw. No good. Skipped around the rim and outs. 37-30. That's where coaching comes into play. Kelvin Sampson, age 69, going up against Todd Golden out of the coach's box, age 39. And just a learning lesson like Luka Doncic last year in the NBA Finals, not playing any sort of defense. It's got to be coaching up your team in the proper way there for Todd Golden. 37-30. Your team's down by 7 right now. Not really looking well for Florida at this point, especially if the body language becomes bad, then it's going to start to be a quit attitude. And this Houston team has a no-quit attitude. Inbound, quarter, 3, good. 10-point lead. L.J. Cryer, kaboom, as he sizzles the triple. Not looking good right now for Florida. Clayton at the left wing. Clayton going up. Clayton gets fouled. The clock will stop. It's a reach-in charge to Houston. Yeah, body language gonna say it all when you forget to defend a 40% plus 3-point shooter, Will Richard, coming off late off the screen. Just misses his mark on defending a 40-plus 3-point shooter. Tugler just picked up his 3rd personal foul for Houston. Deep range 3 off the mark, no good by Florida. And a loose ball rebound charge to Houston here. So Houston with 2 quick fouls. Yeah, this is getting ridiculous with the choppiness right now that we got. Really ridiculous in terms of the choppiness. That's what you got to do if you're Florida. Put these big boys in the foul trouble for Houston. That's the first personal foul of the night, charged to Javier Francis. Condon, top of the key, into the hands to Clayton. Clayton still scoreless. Clayton, a lot of dribbling. 6 in the shot clock. Bring it along a double team. Clayton, dribble, drive, ball fake, kick out to the wing, and nobody there. It's a turnover. Damn. Walter Clayton Jr. tonight just drawing zeros on the floor. One field goal attempted in the last 16 minutes of regulation by Clayton. That was a 28-footer from 3 that he attempted, that last field goal attempt. He's got 0 on the board. Roberts playing bully ball. Roberts, runner. Roberts off the rim, and it goes in for 2. 42-30. Might want to think about burning a timeout if you're Todd Golden right now. Got 3 timeouts in your pocket. Houston with 3 as well. Clayton at the top. Over to Ha. Ha off the ball fake. Dribbles up, down low. Kick out. Quarter. Richard. Quarter 3. Off the rim, no good. A rebound controlled by Houston. This is all Houston right now as they are just absolutely lit here. Grown men doing everything. Cryer. Sends it on top. Roberts. Runner. Skidded off the rim short. Offensive rebound controlled by Francis. Tiptoeing the baseline out of bounds. No, they got a timeout in time. They were squeezed at the baseline, and Houston able to get that timeout. That's what coaching can do for you right there. Houston burns their timeout. Florida getting out coached 11-2 in the second half here in favor of Houston. Just that storybook ending with Kelvin Sampson. Storybook ending, and it's coming faster than ever right now, except for those choppy whistles at one point in the second half. This is really not looking good for the Gators here. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Nothing still by Walter Clayton Jr. 6 assists, 3 turnovers, no points. Third crack at it. Just the storylines completely add up. Third crack at the championship, 0 for 2 back in the 80s. Kelvin Sampson, 1 win away from 800 in his collegiate coaching career. 1 win away at 300 wins at Houston. 69 years old, looking for his first chip. The best three-point shooting team in the country. I mean, it all adds up for Houston. Yeah, Clayton can't get anything off. It's like he's playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder defense out here. It's like Houston had held their workouts for the whole season in the OKC Thunder facility, practicing with SGA and Lou Dort and Hardenstein and Chet Holmgren, and scrimmaging OKC during their off days. That's what it looks like right now. Damn. Just insane. LJ Cryer all of a sudden started to take over this game. He's got 12 points right now for Cryer, 3 for 8 from the perimeter. Florida limited to 36%. Just grown men on this Houston team. Just constantly locking out Clayton for nothing. First championship games between the SEC and Big 12 dating back to 2012. Kentucky won that game over Kansas 67-59. Only the third time ever both of these teams in the national championship have the same record. So still got a long way left to go here. 15:48 remaining, but not looking good for the Gators as Houston gets the inbound right now. Top of the key with Cryer. Houston 3 for 7 shooting this half. Florida just 1 for 4. Not winning the rebound battle in half 2, coming out against a very just physically imposing Houston Cougar squad. Jumper mid-range off the mark, no good by Cryer. Rebound control by Haw for Florida. Walter Clayton Jr., nothing. 3 turnovers, last 2:55. Lob down low. Clayton behind the defense. Shoves it through with a 2-handed flush. All right. Or that is Clayton with a playmaker over to Condon. Condon with a dunk there. Condon up to 10. Clayton with assist number 7. 10 assists by the Gators. Every single one of those assists they've had to work for tonight really hard. Uzan drives on Clayton, got it stripped, lost it. Florida up the floor. They got numbers, a 3-on-2. Gonna take this to the rim. Clayton puts it up and he gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up, the first time that he can see if he can get on the scoreboard tonight coming out of this media timeouts. Walter Clayton Jr. will have 2 free throws coming up at the line. We get a 10-point game down to 14:57 remaining in the second half. So Clayton will have 2 free throws coming up, just assisted on his 7th assist of the night. Alex Condon with 10 points. Much better game by him tonight. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Still a long way left to go in this game, but just hasn't been any traction tonight by Florida at all. We've yet to see that spurt of a run that they usually do, and that's going to be much difficult to do going up against the top defense in the land, being Houston. I mean, this could build momentum right here. These are critical free throws. If Clayton comes out, he makes both of them. That builds momentum. If Clayton comes out here missing both of them, that really wrecks any sort of momentum. If he splits them, that still wrecks momentum. If you're Clayton, you gotta bury both of these free throws right now. This is how big these free throws are for Walter Clayton. You got 0 points. You need to have 2 points coming up at the line. This is a big point in the game right now. If Clayton can't bury both of these free throws, that is looking most likely like a Florida L tonight. We're down to under 15 minutes left to go. Houston controlling this game, plays one of the slowest tempos of offense in America, controlling the glass, resetting the shot clock with multiple 20s and offensive rebounds on the shot clock. Not looking so hot right now for Florida. He's got 12 turnovers. They might finish this game off with 20 or so turnovers at the rate that they're going. Here's the turnover individual breakdown right now. Alex Condon, 4 turnovers for him. No assists. 3 turnovers by Clayton. Clayton with 7 assists. 2 turnovers by Will Richard. He's got 1 assist. And then 1 turnover each by Thomas Hall and Denzel Aberdeen. I'm hoping for a close and competitive game. That's what I'm hoping for. Florida just keeps on shooting themselves in the foot constantly with these 12 turnovers. So here we go. The biggest free throws of the night right here. Walter Clayton Jr., who has yet to score at the free throw line. This is going to determine the game right here. Shaky or not shaky for Clayton. Cool and collected or shaky and not cool and collected. Here we go. Good. Good start by Clayton. Just buried the first one. Second free throw. Good. Right down the middle. Made that look easy. All right. That's a positive build right there for Florida. Big, big positive build. Those are his first 2 points of the game. Remember this moment with under 15 minutes left to go. Florida inches back into this one. That's a big reason why. Houston with possession. Bounce pass over to the right wing. It's Roberts. Roberts takes on Condon one-on-one. Roberts backs his way. Pivot. Roberts floats up the shot. Up and in off the glass. Good for 2. 44-34. Jawan Roberts playing bully ball off the pivot, scoring over Condon. Jumper misfired off the mark, no goodbye. Clayton tipped around the perimeter, 50-50 ball. Hustle play, diving right into the Florida bench, showing them who's boss. That is Emmanuel Sharp coming up with a 50-50 ball down the far side with a defensive rebound. Houston with possession. They'll slow it down. Cryer slides it off to his right to Sharp around the perimeter. Puts the ball into the hands to Uzan. We get the player knocked down away from the play. That's on Florida. That's on Thomas Hall. That's number 7. Bonus time free throws coming up already for Houston. Florida over the limit. Just picked up their 7th personal foul in the second half. Crushing. Absolutely crushing. And Walter Clayton Jr., who has 0 made field goals tonight, checks out, heads towards the bench. 1-1 for Emmanuel Sharp. And he buries the first one. An 11-point lead by the Cougars. DQ, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Momentum builder here for Sharp tonight. He's only got 3 points and missed the second one there. Florida's gotta go right now. 14 minutes left to go, and you're down by 11. Gators have only made it to the free throw line twice tonight, and also Clayton currently on the bench. Gonna need somebody to take over. Martin on top, sends it off to Condon. Condon, hand off Aberdeen. Aberdeen doubled out to the top of the key. Thomas Haw takes the 3 off the back rim, no good. A rebound controlled by Condon with a loose ball foul charge to Houston. And that'll stop the clock. That's their 4th as a team right now for Houston. Florida with 7. So Clayton gets benched. I mean, this is starting to look like Rick Pitino and St. John's, how they got eliminated against Arkansas. The best player gets benched with 13:47 left. Now, that was called on the floor, and the loose ball foul charge to Houston. That's on Jawan Roberts. And that's going to be his second. I don't know right there. That looks pretty clean. This is under official review right now in this last foul. So initial call, Jawan Roberts off the rebound picked up a foul holding up Condon. I mean, there's a lot of jostling for position there, back and forth between the two, and then they unchain together once Condon came down with the offensive rebound. And Roberts, there wasn't really much contact here when that ball lands into the hand. Yeah, Roberts lets go at that point. So this is under review currently. Okay, so it's been confirmed. So Jawan Roberts, second personal foul. Florida will get the inbounds. Outside of Thomas Haw, needing something here. He gets tripped up and fouled by Javier Francis off the dribble. That's now the 5th by Houston. We'll try it again. Florida gets the inbound here in their backcourt. They cross midcourt. Denzel Aberdeen towards his left off the dribble around the perimeter. Aberdeen dribbles up, low block, and Houston again. Ticky-tack. What is going on here? 6th personal foul for the Cougars as they're looking around. We might not have enough players to play this game if there's whistles like this in the second half. That's on Javier Francis. Back-to-back fouls for him. That's his 3rd. So Houston getting into quite a bit of foul trouble right now. Javier Francis with 3. Joseph Tugler has 3. Roberts has 2. There's all your front court guys, and some foul issues right now. So opens up the door for Florida to see if they can make a response. Gators with possession. Aberdeen at the right wing. 10 in the shot clock. Dribbles up low block. Aberdeen puts up the shot. He scores. Up and off the backboard. It's down to 9 right now. Florida sees the possibility. Opportunity right now. 13 combined fouls in the second half. After barely any in the first half. Cryer moves it off to Uzan. Uzan, 15 in the shot clock. Uzan around the perimeter, slides it on top over to Cryer. Cryer towards his right, passes over to Tugler. Kick out to the wing. Uzan on the 3, skidded off the rim short. Offensive rebound, right back to Roberts. Roberts with a new 20 in the shot clock, playing bully ball inside a low post on Condon. Roberts puts up a contested shot off the back, no good. Condon controls the defensive rebound. Yeah, there's been some real bad refereeing in this game right now. Aberdeen around the perimeter, Clayton Carley on the bench, Condon on top. Handoff coming around the screen. It's Martin. Takes the 3. Makes the 3 from downtown. Right through the chute for Elijah Martin. It's a 6-point game here, folks. 12.5 left to go in the second. Houston with possession right now. A couple key front court players and some deep foul trouble at the moment for Houston. Opening up the door for the Gators. Tugler has it here at the elbow. Bounce pass over to the wing to Cryer. Cryer guarded off a double team. Bounce pass on top. Tugler. Handoff. Step back 3 in the air. Cryer got it rejected. Florida out to the races. Attacking the paint. They lay it up and in. And an and one coming up at the free throw line by Thomas Haw. We got a game here, folks, right now. Here is that momentum run for the Gators. What a way to respond in this game. There was one point that Florida had 6 personal fouls in the first 3.5 minutes of this second half. No quit attitude. That is finest here by Florida. Wow. 45-41. Houston just picked up their 7th as a team in half 2. That was on, I believe it was on Cryer, his first. And there'll be a free throw coming out of this as well for Florida. Free throw coming up as we're going to head over to a timeout first. Timeout taken by Kelvin Sampson of Houston. 45-41 with 12:06 left. Holy smokes. Got some foul trouble to go over right now. Houston's got some deep foul trouble. 3 personal fouls by Joseph Tugler, 3 by Francis, 2 by Roberts, 1 each by Uzan and Cryer. Has this game changed or what? Gators, nobody with 3, 2 each by Condon, Richard, and Clayton for fouls, 1 by Haw. Wow. I had said in the pregame I wouldn't be shocked if we go into overtime. What, incredible resiliency here from Florida. Once Houston started to rack up those fouls, this is anybody's game. This is not a good sign for Houston that they're in some deep foul trouble right now. We still got 12:06 left to go. Because last year, when I called the game against Texas A&M, Houston was up by 10 with 3.5 minutes left in their second round game against Texas A&M. Houston had multiple guys in that game foul out. Texas A&M forced overtime. Houston barely got by and won that game against Texas A&M. We got a ball game right now. Florida seized the opportunity. And Houston, with a couple of their key players in some really deep foul trouble. Tugler and Francis with 3. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. This could come down to how many players are left remaining in the game at the end of it. Wouldn't be shocked if there's a couple of guys that pick up their 5th before this game wraps up tonight. Because what a turn of events here. We barely had any free throws, any fouls in that first half, and all of a sudden we're starting to pile them up right now. Both teams with 7 total, but in terms of shape, Florida is in much better shape with their foul trouble compared to Houston right now. Florida's got them all spread out, whereas Houston has 2 guys with 3. So chance here for the Gators, pending the next free throw, to get this game back to a 1-possession game. Other guys starting to step up here for Florida. Surging in the run recently. Elijah Martin buried that big triple. That was right before the layup that was scored by Aberdeen. And then Thomas Hall out in fast break. It was off a block shot attempt as Cryer jacked up a three, got it blocked, and Florida took it in fast break, scored a layup on a 7-zip run in a 2-minute clip. Will Richard, 14 points, doing damage in the first half, drilling 4 threes in the opening half tonight. Hit us up in the chat who you guys want to win, Florida or Houston. Thomas Haw, 1 free throw at the line as we come back from the timeout. Free throw is good. I have to say, they've been excellent tonight at the free throw line when it matters the most. Florida perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Houston leaving off a couple points off the board. They're 5 for 8 at the free throw line. That could be the difference in this game here. Houston with possession. Jab step of the wing. Sharp jacks up the 3 around the rim and out. Walter Clayton Jr. back in the game. Collects the defensive rebound. Clayton up the floor. Chance to tie it up with a 3. Yet to make a field goal tonight. Clayton drives on to Wilson. Clayton up fake. Clayton outside. 3-point shot attempt here. Aberdeen for the tie. Off the mark. No good. Rebound controlled by Sharp. That was a really good look there by Denzel Aberdeen. Cryer. Quarter 3. Got it. And Houston up by 6. LJ Cryer, he is a sharp shooter. 15 by Cryer, 4th triple tonight. Clayton on top finds Haw. Thomas Haw off the dribble towards his left into the hands to Aberdeen. Aberdeen crossover dribbles, drives on to Wilson, up fake, shovel pass underneath to the big fella. As he goes up, gets fouled. 2 free throws coming up here by Handlogden for the Gators. You gotta finish that if you're handlogged in there. 7'1". Nice little pass down low. Got his defender Malik Wilson to bite off the up fake. Aberdeen saw a handlogged and able to draw the shooting foul. So 2 free throws coming up here for Florida. Houston racking up those personal fouls right now. Malik Wilson just picked up his first and handlogged and not a good free throw shooter. Just missed the first one off the back rim. So to that point, they were a perfect 5 for 5 until that. This is not the guy who you want at the free throw line if you're the Gators. Florida trail by 6 against UConn. Trail by 10 with 3.5 minutes left against Texas Tech. Trail by 8 at halftime against Auburn. Came back in all those games. And today as many by 12 at one point. Both of the free throws were missed. That's critical. Houston back with possession off the defensive rebound. Under 11 minutes left to go. Cougars at the right wing. Uzan weaves his way inside the key. Lob, and that was between the lob and the shot. Skidded off the left side of the rim. And it got rebounded here by Florida. Thinking about the step back, they'll do exactly that as Florida missed it. Put back chance, missed off the glass. Too strong by Handlogden. Rebound controlled by Malik Wilson for Houston. Houston with possession on the outside. Cryer, crossover, takes the 3 over a big boy. Handlogged off the mark, no good. A rebound controlled by Clayton. Clayton still yet to make a single shot in this game. Looking to change that right here. His 3 came off the rim short. Ripped away by Tugler in the defensive glass. Houston by 6 with possession. Down to 10:15 remaining. Cougars will slow it down. Emmanuel Sharp at the top of the key. Walter Clayton Jr. shooting 0 for 6 in this game, coming off 2 30-piece games tonight, being locked up this entire game against the top defense in America. Cryer inside the key. Outside to the elbow. Tugler. Jab step. Takes on Handlogden. Runner. That's an air ball out of bounds. And the shot clock violation charge to Houston. It will go back in Florida's direction. Yeah, that was the best look that Clayton had all game, but unable to make it, though, as he just left it off the rim short, unfortunately for him. Florida down by 6 with possession. Gators just surged on an 8-zip run. Gonna look to see if they can get back to one right here. They turned it over. A lot of contact inside the key as Aberdeen went down with Wilson. No cover the refs as they let them play physical there. It's the 13th turnover. Cryer was the one who came up with a steal. Cryer Has it at the top of the key. He's defended on the outside by Aberdeen. Slides it off to his left at the left wing. Wilson dribbles, drives up to the elbow with some space. Jumper over Haw. Missed off the mark, no good. Tip to the perimeter. Offensive rebound control by Houston. Houston, runner, Crier, left it short, tipped up in the air. And it's an over-the-back foul charge to Houston, their 9th. And this will send Florida to the free throw line, shooting in a 1-and-1 bonus with 9:07 left to go. The Gators walk on their side of the floor. That's on Tugler. That's going to be his 4th. That's over the back on Tugler. That's number 4. That's a critical foul by Tugler, as he has to take a seat on the bench for a lot of time right now. 9:07 left and just picked up his 4th. 1-and-1 bonus. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Denzel Aberdeen. The first one's good. Yeah, this foul trouble right now is saving Florida, keeping them right in the game. Crushing. That's the big energy building guy that cleans up the glass for Houston. Joseph Tugler, the lockdown defensive dude as well. Free throw number 2 is good. We get a 4-point game right now, 48-44. Approaching the 9-minute mark left to go. Florida leading bench points in half 2, 6-0. Houston was up at the half in bench points, 13-4. Uzan, defended by Aberdeen at the right wing. Uzan off the dribble towards his left. Push pass over to Wilson around the perimeter. Shot clock down to 8. Houston with the ball. Malik Wilson drives on Clayton at the left baseline. Follow away jumper off the rim. Short rebound controlled by Chinyalu for Florida. Here goes the Gators up the floor. Clayton out to the top of the key. Bullet of a pass down low. Chinyalu floats up the hook shot. Couldn't get it to go. Goes up. Got fouled. 2 more free throws coming up here for Florida with a lot of time remaining. And Javier Francis just picked up his 4th. Javier Francis. Ooh! The right arm of Chinyalu when he finished in the shooting motion there in the hook shot. That elbow came down in the eye of Javier Francis. They called a shooting foul charge to Francis as he got Chinyalu on the shot going up before the elbow swung down later on the shot attempt. Chinyalu, first free throw, he missed it. Once again, this is not the guy you want at the free throw line. They got a couple big men on their team that have a lot of issues shooting free throws. So Francis and Tugler in some real deep foul trouble right now with 4 personal fouls each, as Francis just had to substitute out. Second free throw by Chinyalu. It's good. It's a 3-point game. 48-45. 8.5 left to go. This game is far from over here, folks. Florida shooting 5 for 14 in the second half. Houston 5 for 20. Cougars with possession. Malik Wilson running the points. Wilson on the floor with Sharp, Francis, Arsenault, and Uzan. At the elbow, it's Roberts. Roberts takes his man down low. Roberts bobbled it. Roberts double team, lost it out of bounds. It's going to stay Houston ball. It was off Florida at the baseline last. Wow, this game's really starting to pick up physicality-wise. It has been like that the entire game, right from the opening tip. But man, Florida in their hands has started to not back down from the challenge, up their physicality to compete with the top team in the nation, Houston, in physicality. Roberts off the inbound, missed it from point-blank range. Rebound control by Florida. Chance to tie it up with a 3. Clayton at the top of the key. Clayton, 1-on-1, dribble, drive, right to the rim, inside, he got it, and 1. Coming up in the free throw line by Walter Clayton Jr. It's a 1-point game. Anything is possible for the 2025 Florida Gators. Wow. Walter Clayton Jr., free throw stripe awaits. Media timeout first. 7:54 left to go. What a game. It ain't over till it's over. Unreal. Walter Clayton Jr. drives, attacks on Arsenault. Sees that Tugler, the best defender of Houston, is going to be on their bench for a long period of time with 4 personal fouls. Straight line dribble drives, right attack to the rack, scores with a left-hand layup in the and 1. The resiliency of the Florida Gators. 4 points now, awaiting a free throw by Clayton. If you're new on the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. My, oh my, have the tables turned in this one. Houston with 9 personal fouls in half 2. Florida with 7. Despite 13 turnovers, it's only a 1-point game. 13 turnovers by Florida, 4 turnovers by Houston. Just insane. Hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like to win here, Florida or Houston? We got over 400 people plus watching right now. You guys, the real legends. MVPs coming out here. The Gators leading the poll by just 2%, 51-49. It's almost even. We got over 500 plus votes out there. Make sure to vote in that poll if you haven't already done so. Holy smokes. Storyline in this tournament for Florida. Multiple comebacks. Came back against UConn. Came back down by 10 against Texas Tech. Trailed at half against Auburn. Comeback hits in the second half. And this is looking a little bit concerning for Houston right now, because when I covered that game last year, second round, against Texas A&M, they got into some really deep foul trouble. They led by 10 points with 3 minutes left, and then Texas A&M surged back, forced overtime in the game that the final score went into the 90s. Right now, this is well far from that. 48-47 with under 8 minutes left. But this is not a good sign here for Houston with Joseph Tugler, the team's top defender, their energy man. A big putback, clean off the glass guy. He's got 4 personal fouls. Javier Francis with 4 personal fouls as well. After that, 2 fouls charged to Juwan Roberts. Florida, nobody has 3 for fouls. 2 each between Condon, Richard, and Clayton for personal fouls. Kelvin Sampson, the Houston Redemption, 69 years old, going against the young riser at age 39 for the Florida Gators with Todd Golden. Walter Clayton Jr. trying to be him once again like he's been all tournament. On a generational run in this tournament in the previous 2 games, dropping down 34-30. Looking to see if he can start to surge here in a game that he got locked up with 0 in the first half. 5.7 assists, or 4.7 assists, looking for his 5th point here at the free throw line, which would tie the game. Clayton, major free throw, which would tie it up here. And the free throw is good. Calm, cool, collected Clayton, 48-48. What a story for him. Started off his collegiate career playing for Rick Pitino at Iona at a mid-major out in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. 7 ties, 2 lead changes. Houston's biggest lead by 2. Coming off the screen, it is Uzan. Uzan at the top of the key, 12 of the shot clock. Uzan dribbles up, a jumper, mid-range, off the rim, no good. Battle for the rebound. Roberts came down with it, threw it away out of bounds. It's off of Florida last. Off the deflection, though. It'll stay Houston ball. What a game. Check that. Houston with their last foul just picked up their 10th, actually. So Florida's in the double bonus the rest of the stretch. Florida with 7 for personal fouls. How is this game just flipped like the ties like this? At one point, Florida had 6 personal fouls. Houston at 0. At one point in this half, Roberts going up. Got fouled. That's on Chenyolu. Ooh. Did he just get teched up for that? That could have been a delay of game T by Ruben Chenyolu as he slammed the basketball down to the hardwood after the conclusion of this play. Chenyolu called in a shooting foul. Going up, trying to block Juwan Roberts' shot right next to the official. Slams down the basketball. That's a major mistake. Yep, that's a T. Ruben Chenyolu, a major minus in this game for Florida. An atrocious, despicable, big ew technical foul. That is a big ew technical foul. You can't do that. National championship game with 7:13 left to go. And the free throw is good on the Tech free throw by Cryer. He'll have another one as well. That's a major fumble of a brain decision right there. Second free throw is good. Damn. Ruben Chinyelu been spending time with Antonio Brown. What the hell are you doing, bro? Don't slam the goddamn basketball down to the hardwood. Holy smokes, you've been spending a lot of time with Antonio Brown. Damn. Somebody examine that man for CTE right there. And now the free throws by Roberts. First free throw is no good. Missed it off the back rim. Charles, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Those 2 points could be the difference in this game. Right there. Second free throw. Good. 3-point game in what should be a 1-point game because of a stupidity. Stupid over stupid makes stupider even more stupid. Slamming the basketball down in the national championship game by Ruben Chinyelu. Lob down low. Clayton got it a go. And an and one coming up. 51-50. Walter Clayton Jr. receiving an incredible dime lobbed by Thomas Hall. He's big man right here. The ability to play make, it is excellent for this Florida team. 1-point game, a chance to tie it up for an 87% free throw shooter with Clayton. What a response right back here for the Gators. Free throw is good. 51-51. That was on Cryer, his second personal foul. Houston with possession. Foul trouble looks like this. 4 personal fouls each by Tugler and Francis for Houston. 2 personal fouls each by Roberts and Cryer for the Cougars as well. Cryer, 12 of the shot clock. Crossover, dribbles up inside the key. Cryer, turnaround jumper, left it short. And rebound control by Clayton. Walter Clayton Jr. started to take over the game. Up the floor, finds Martin. Martin, dribble drive, attacks the paint, puts it up, no good off the glass. Rebound secured by Roberts. Houston with possession here. Sharp will slow it down. Sharp moves it down low. Wilson got it a go. Good for 2. Right over Hall for the buckets. Working their way in transition right there for the Cougars. What a game here, folks. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Top of the key, Thomas Hall. Outside to Condon. Condon moves it off down low. Aberdeen soars up to the rim. Got it up and then off the glass. We're tied up at 53. 6 minutes even. Denzel Aberdeen up to 6 points now. Who wants it more? That's what it's going to come down to crown a 2025 national champion, Florida. Points in the paint, they lead at number 26-18. Sharp with a 3. Manuel Sharp, bang, bang. Laser beam, knocking down a triple. 56-53, 5:40 left to go. Clayton on top. We got the elite level shot maker showing up here in the building. Up fake, Haw, shovel pass down low, underneath, and it's good. Up and then off the backboard for 2 for Alex Condon. What a game. Scoring start to pick up right here, right now, as we get a timeout taken on the floor. Charge to Florida with head coach Todd Golden. 1-point game, 56-55. 5:32 left. Making it really interesting right now if this hits the over. Victor, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Damn, sorry to hear that there, brother. How about this poll? 50-50. Make sure to vote in the poll if you haven't already done so. Also, big ups here for all you guys who hit the thumbs up. We just reached 100 likes. Let's keep it growing tonight. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. This is going to come down to a game-winning shot, I feel like. Who is going to rise on the line, knock down a big-time shot tonight? Top scores. LJ Cryer, 17 points for Houston. 9 points by Malik Wilson, 8 points by Jamon Roberts. Florida, 14 points by Will Richard, all in the first half. 12 points by Alex Condon. 8 points all of a sudden by Walter Clayton Jr. Over under around 141.5 going into this one. 56-55, 5.5 minutes left to go. Houston with possession, up by 1. Cougars been dominating the opening half of the game. Houston led as many by 12 at one point. They had missed their last 9 out of 11 shots from the floor. Hand off to Sharp. Sharp dribbles up, slices defenders, right to the rim. He scores. Up and off the backboard. Good for 2 with a layup. Missed mental lapse there defensively with their paint defense for Florida. That allowed to free up Emmanuel Sharp off straight line dribble drive penetration to the hole. Condon, top of the free throw circle. Condon looking to move it back out to the perimeter here. Condon lobs it over to Aberdeen. Aberdeen, under 5 minutes left to go. Aberdeen, 12 of the timer. On top, sends it over to Haw. Haw towards his right. Hand off to Will Richard. And he stumbled on the hardwood, though. Houston called on the reach-in foul. And this will be 2 free throws coming up by Will Richard at the free throw line. A very, very late whistle call by the referees right there. Kelvin Sampson cannot believe the foul call. Richard coming around the screen. Oh, yeah, that was a good sell job right there. DJ Echo Cat with a dodo. Let's get that dodo hype out of the stream here for DJ. Really appreciate it. Free throw number 1 is good by Will Richard. Houston with 10 plus personal fouls. Florida, double bonus rest of the stretch. Florida with 9. So Houston next time will be in a double bonus. So both of these teams double bonus during the next foul committed by Florida. Second free throw is good. A 1-point game. Could come down to a buzzer beater. And that was a really good sell job right there to get a benefit of a whistle by Will Richard. Houston with possession. Javier Francis, 4 personal fouls. Joseph Tugler with 4. That was on LJ Cryer from behind. That was his 3rd. Houston in some really deep foul trouble. Top of the key for the Cougars. Uzan towards his right. Uzan now dribbles towards his left. 8 on the shot clock. Fires the pass off to Roberts. Turns the corner. Drives on. Caught in. No good. Shoved in though for the putback flush by Houston. Javier Francis cleans it off the rim with authority as he dunks it down with a 2-hand putback jam. Condon. Free throw circle, hand off to Aberdeen. Aberdeen at the left wing. On top over to Chinyalu. Those two free throws that Houston made because of the technical foul. The difference in this game right now. Top of the key, Condon. 5 of the shot clock. Condon down low. Condon up fake. Condon pivot. Condon couldn't finish. No good off the mark. Rebound secured by Houston's defense with Uzan. Condon could not finish. Right there, so he had an opening, he couldn't finish from point-blank range. Houston, 4 straight possessions they have scored on. Cougars with the ball, Sharp. Bounce pass top of the key, Roberts. Hand off back to Sharp, 8 on the shot clock. Sharp, pocket pass, Roberts rolls down the kick. Baseline drive, Cryer stepped to the bounds. It's a turnover. Didn't realize his back foot was out of bounds right there, touching the far side, so that's a critical turnover. Charge to Houston in the game that they've been pretty clean, limiting the turnovers. Going to take us to the under 4-minute media break. 3:24 left to go. What a wild, wild game here. What a game. That's Houston's 5th turnover. Florida with 13 turnovers. Majority of those turnovers in half one. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Alex Condon, you got to finish that so close from point-blank range and unable to do so in the previous field goal. That would have put his team winning 1. And you look at this game right now, you look at the technical foul that Ruben Chinyalu had at one point in this half where he slammed down the basketball right next to the referee, called in a technical foul. That right there could be the difference maker. This will be Florida basketball coming up out of the timeout with 3:24 left. Will Richard, 16 points for Florida, leading the way. Alex Condon got 12.7 rebounds. Walter Clayton Jr. limited to 8 points and 7 assists tonight. This could see overtime tonight in this game. Houston led by LJ Cryer with 17. Foul trouble looks like this. 4 personal fouls by Joseph Tugler, 4 by Javier Francis, 3 by LJ Cryer. For Florida, nobody's got 3. 4 guys with 2 fouls each, including Chinyalu, Condon, Richard, and Clayton, all with 2. Doug, welcome in, taking Houston. Bobby looking an OT game. Yeah, I get a feeling that this could very well go into overtime tonight. 50-50 on the poll. Hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like to win here tonight? Type it in, Houston or Florida. And if you're new in the stream, keep on smashing that thumbs up. Helps this video a ton being found on YouTube. High number, really appreciate it. What a game. This could come down to overtime, a buzzer beater. Props for Florida. They were down by 12. They looked like they were dead out in the water at one point. They were down by 12 points at one point in this game. Florida leads the rebounds, plus 4 in the glass. 38-34 though. Houston plus 5. Offensive rebounds 12-7. It's the turnovers. 13 turnovers by the Gators, 5 by Houston. Though Florida doing a much better job here in half number 2. They were a nightmare in half 1 with turnovers. So this will be Florida ball. Houston just turned it over for the 5th time before the timeout. LJ Cryer had his back foot step out of bounds off the baseline dribble. So this will be Florida ball coming back up out of the timeout. 3:24 left. Florida outscored Houston 27-18 in the last 12 minutes of court time here on the floor. So that's what's at stake here recently. The Gators with a lot of momentum putting Houston into that deep foul trouble. And that's allowed Florida to come on back in this game, certainly with a rise of Walter Clayton Jr., who had 0 at halftime, up to now 8 points currently. 10 personal fouls charged to Houston, 9 by Florida. Both teams in a double bonus next time around. Gators have the possession arrow too. 2 timeouts remaining for Florida, 1 timeout remaining for Houston. 3:24 left. Inbound here for Florida as we come back to action. We're going to have an incredible finish here. Florida with possession. Top of the key with Thomas Haw. Slides it over to Walter Clayton Jr. He takes the 3 and he buries it. WCJ showed up in a big way here in a clutch. Bang, bang with a 3 ball. Walter Clayton Jr. has arrived. First made triple of the night, even up at 60. Houston with possession. Uzan has possession here at the right wing perimeter. Uzan takes on Elijah Martin, puts the ball on top over to number 4, LJ Cryer. Cryer has possession here at the left wing. 10 on the shot clock right now for Houston. Cryer, shovel pass over to the top. Handoff from Francis back to Cryer. 5 in the shot clock. Cryer, dribble, drive, right down the lane inside. Floated up a runner, no good. Tipped off the glass. It is good, and a tip in for Houston. 62-60, able to clean it up right there for the Cougars. Florida with possession. Clayton on top off the Haw. Dribbles up, spin cycle inside the key. Outside, Martin launches a 3. Martin, no good off the mark. Offensive rebound, Richard. Going up, got fouled. Bodies collide, hitting the deck here. Will Richard, what a hustle play with an offensive rebound as the block was not cleaned by Houston. And Richard will have 2 free throws to see if he can tie it up here at 62. Big time offensive rebound by Will Richard. 2:18 remaining. 84% free throw shooter this season. First one, good. Man, the guards have been sensational tonight at the free throw line for Florida. Clayton, perfect 4 for 4. Richard, perfect 3 for 3. Those 2 guys knocking down shots at the free throw line. Aberdeen off the bench is 2 for 2. Second one is good. 62-62. 2:18 left. Houston with the basketball. Right to left on the floor for the Cougars. Uzan sends it on top off to Tugler. Tugler, hand off to Cryer. Cryer, top of the key. Cryer, 15 on the shot clock, away from the basketball. Florida gives a personal foul. That's their 10th. That is on Will Richard. Or that's on Condon, actually. That's on Condon. That's his 3rd. So Jawan Roberts, 2 free throws. I wonder if they're trying to hack him here. 63% free throw shooter. You know how Florida came back and beat Texas Tech? This is 2 free throws, though. 62% free throw shooter. 2 free throws in the double bonus. First one's good by Roberts. Houston 1-point lead. Everything's double bonus rest of the stretch. Check that. This is Tugler, a 54% free throw shooter. Just split him at the line. So Tugler made the first one, missed the second one. So check that. That was Tugler, not Roberts there. Florida got the rebound. Florida with possession. Clayton launches the three off the back rim, no good. Roberts controls the defensive rebound. Minute 50 left to go. Houston will slow it down. Big boy, big bad basketball right here, right now. Adult grown men by this Houston Cougars squad on the floor. Who's going to win it? Type it in the chats. We're down to 1:40 and under. Top of the key, Tugler sends it outside into the hands to Uzan. Might need overtime for this game tonight. Uzan jacks up the three, blocked, and it goes out of bounds. It's off. Florida, I believe, last year. It'll stay Houston ball with 4.3 in the shot clock. Will Richard got his fingertips, got a piece of that ball and blocked it out of bounds. 11 combined blocks, 5 blocks by Florida, 6 blocks tonight by Houston. What a game. 2025 National Championship ain't missing a beat tonight in this one. Houston, inbound, dribbling up. Cryer, off balance, shot off the mark, no good. Huge offensive rebound by Tugler. Got stripped out of bounds. It's out of bounds off Houston. What a strip right there by the Gators. Kelvin Sampson signaling challenge. 1:21 left to go on the clock. Tugler, offensive rebound, got it stripped in between him and Condon, and it flew out of bounds. And according to the refs, it left the fingertips. Yup, that left the fingertips of Tugler last. It's going to be Florida basketball if confirmed by official review. 1:21 left. This looks like it left the top of the fingertips last to Tugler. Holy hell indeed, what a game. Based on that replay, that looked like it was off of Tugler in Houston last. As he got it stripped out of bounds. Yeah, that is clearly off of Tugler last, not Condon. What a play there by Condon, stripping Tugler right underneath the rim. If you're new on the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We might get a buzzer beater out of this one tonight. Appreciate everybody for joining in. 600 plus, you guys, the legends, MVPs in the stream. This game is a 1-point game. This game is determined by a technical foul by Ruben Chinyelu that could determine the outcome of this game. And right now, it certainly has determined the outcome of a 1-point lead by Houston. The poll is even 50-50. Really appreciate the 700 plus votes, you guys, the legends, MVPs out here. 1:21 left to go. Where heroes and legends are made, it will come right here in the national championship game. Florida will have the basketball. It has been confirmed by the officials. Turnover off Joseph Tugler of Houston last. Florida with possession. Clayton, he's been clutch all tournament. Dump off down low. One dribble. Condon underneath. Condon puts up the shot. Off the glass. No good. Tipped around. Haw. Offensive rebound. Got stripped. Turned it over. Houston with a steal. 1:05 left to go. Cougars looking for the knockout punch if they deliver a three right here. Uzan at the top of the key. 18 in the shot clock off the Cryer. Left baseline dribble. Cryer. Oh, he lost it. Turnover. Condon with a steal. 50 seconds remaining. Dribble, drive, penetrating the paint inside. We get a shooting foul. 2 free throws coming up for Florida. It's an Elijah Martin. Joseph Tugler just fouled out of this game. That is his 5th. Elijah Martin attacks Tugler, and Elijah Martin, 46 seconds left. Legends, heroes, built for this game. FAU 2023 Elijah Martin, a 76% free throw shooter. First pair of free throws, chance to take the lead. First one, good. 63-63. It ain't over till it's over. Down by 12 for the Florida Gators. 46.5 seconds left to go. Elijah Martin, built here, right now, the moment, bullseye, right down the middle of the net. It is good. Florida, first lead in the clutch since an 8-6 lead to begin this game. What a game. Time out on the floor. 46.5 seconds left to go as Florida will burn a timeout. They're down to 1 timeout remaining. The energy guy, the cleanup guy, The slam dunk put back to the lockdown defender. Joseph Tugler has fouled out for Houston. Once Houston got into deep foul trouble midway through the second half, the tides completely changed in the favor of the Florida Gators. What a game. Quick 30-second timeouts. Houston, one timeout remaining. So does Florida. Possession arrow in the favor of Florida during the next tie-up, if there is a tie-up. This will be Houston basketball with 46.5 seconds left to go. Joseph Tugler is fouled out with 5 personal fouls, finishes with 5 points tonight. Javier Francis, 4 personal fouls. Florida, nobody with 4. Condon has 3. Houston, as they come out of the timeout huddle, about to get the inbound here. Both teams with 10 personal fouls. Houston gets the inbound. Houston led by 12 at one point in this game. It's now Florida up by 1. Top of the key, Roberts sends it over to Cryer at the right wing perimeter. 35 seconds left to go. 17 on the shot clock. That's a 16-second differential. Shot clock and game clock. Sharp off the dribble. Dribbles up. Lost it out of bounds. It's a turnover off of Emmanuel Sharp. 26.5 seconds remaining. Emmanuel Sharp off a double team inside the key. Stripped. Will Richard strips Sharp. The ball ricocheted off the knee of Sharp, out of bounds. Unbelievable. It's going to be Florida basketball, but this is going to be reviewed first. Official review, 26.5 seconds left to go. Emmanuel Sharp stripped out of bounds. Last left off his knee off the strip by Richard. Tried to dribble in between a double team of Condon and Richard. And yeah, that looks like it ricocheted off the kneecap of Sharp out of bounds. It was off a Sharp last. This is going to be Florida ball. Now, this has been crazy because Duke, around a similar time, turned over the basketball on an inbound all the way behind Houston, underneath Houston's net during the Final Four game on Saturday. So Florida's going to have to inbound this cleanly coming up here if they want to win this game. And you're looking for shooters. Florida has got some really good guards tonight. It's done damage tonight at the free throw line. 16 for 19 at the free throw line by Florida. Houston, 9 for 14. That's the difference in this game by Florida's up. 84% free throw line shooting percentage by Florida. 64% by Houston tonight. Here's who you got hot hands tonight for Florida. Will Richard, perfect 4 for 4 at the line. Walter Clayton Jr., perfect 4 for 4. Denzel Aberdeen off the bench is 2 for 2. Elijah Martin, 2 for 2. You got multiple guards who are perfect at the free throw line. Condon, a front court guy, is also perfect at 2 for 2. Will Richard showed up, made 4 humongous threes in the first half to save his team. And then what could be a big-time game play here in the clutch there. The strip out of bounds, forcing the turnover. 26 seconds left. Florida, it has been confirmed, will have the basketball. What a comeback by the Gators. Looking to inbound it cleanly here. Florida, they get a timeout remaining. Lob goes over to Thomas Hall. Gets it back over to Clayton. Houston going to let it play out here. Deep pass down the court. Florida in the court of play with Aberdeen. He gets fouled. Wow. That was a dangerous pass, chucked all the way down a full court outlet by Walter Clayton Jr. to Aberdeen as he was able to track it down in a nick of time. It was almost stolen by Uzan. Uzan had to give the foul in 19 seconds. And Denzel Aberdeen shooting 2 free throws here at the free throw line where the guards have been perfect tonight for Florida. Oh, they're not perfect. He bricked the first one. Oh boy! Denzel Aberdeen hit back rim completely. A monstrous brick. You can't make this stuff up. Second free throw, Aberdeen. 19.7 seconds left. Got it. 65-63. Condon checks back in. 1 timeout remaining for both of these teams. Kelvin Sampson burns his final timeout. What a game. What a game. The Florida Gators looking for their first chip since 2007. Looking for their third championship in program history. Todd Golden would be the third head coach in NCAA tournament history if Florida wins this game, joining Steve Fisher at Michigan in 1989, Kevin Ollie at UConn in 2014 to win the national title without winning a single NCAA tournament game entering the tournament that they won the title in. On the other side, Kelvin Sampson, 69 years old, 30 years older than Todd Golden. Looked like it was going to be Houston's year. Sampson looking for win number 800 of his collegiate career, win number 300 at Houston, and also looking for Houston's first ever championship and its third try as a program, runner-up in 83 and 84. Houston will have this basketball. 19 seconds left. One timeout remaining for Florida. Houston is out of timeouts. It's going to come down to elite level shot making. That's what it's going to come down to. LJ Cryer. Will this be the time to rise right here, right now for Cryer? Here we go. Cryer tonight, 19 points. Everybody else for Houston, 9 or below. It's going to be Cryer who gets this last shot attempt. He's 4 for 11 from the perimeter. I put my money on Cryer here for the final shot attempt. Inbound goes to Houston. Here we go. 18 seconds remaining. They cross midcourt at the right wing. It's Cryer. Shot clock turned off. 12 seconds remaining. Sends it off to Uzan at the right wing. Uzan. Hand off Cryer. 7 seconds. Cryer 5 seconds on top. Sharp goes up. Sharp. Loose ball here. Oh, that's a big ew to close out the NCAA Tournament Championship game. What a comeback. Up and down, you can't do that, Emmanuel Sharp. It is over. The slipper still fits for the Florida Gators. Down by 12, they come back, they win it. Incredible. Big ew by Emmanuel Sharp. What are you doing? Come on, man. Emmanuel Sharp goes into a 3-point jump shot motion and then comes down with a basketball in his hands. Let it bounce on the hardwood and up and down. Turnover, violation, charge to Houston as the buzzer sounds. The confetti falls and the Florida Gators. An incredible comeback for the ages that you're going to tell the story to your children, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Alex Condon, the steal for the ages. It didn't matter the technical foul. It didn't matter they were down by 12. The comeback kids beat the defending two-time champs UConn in the second round. They came back and beat Texas Tech, trailing by 10 with 5 minutes left. And then they come back by 12. An incredible comeback led by a head coach at just the age of 39, Todd Golden. What a game. You gotta be kidding me, Smalls, for the Houston Cougars. Emmanuel Sharp, a 40% three-point shooter, and he sells. And he goes up with a basketball, jump shot motion, doesn't let it launch. Instead, he comes back down with it. And that is the difference between winning the game in the clutch, 66-65, and choking on a big one. A real big one. And losing the national championship on the biggest play of your lifetime. A play that will be remembered for the ages. You play 1,000,000 games in your career, and you cannot have drawn up a game similar to the outcome of that one. Holy moly. as we go final. Only needed 11 points by Walter Clayton Jr. No problem. The Florida Gators got itself the dub. What a wild comeback in a game that they couldn't handle the physicality, couldn't handle the pressure all throughout the first half. 13 turnovers. Free throws were the difference. Didn't matter the 13 turnovers. Houston had 6 turnovers because the biggest turnover happened in the final seconds when Sharp went up and down. The difference tonight, Florida +1 on the glass, 40-39. They didn't get crushed like Duke on the glass, but this came down to free throws tonight. And the guard play for Florida, that's why I picked them to be my national champion, because of elite level guard play. Like that guy, Walter Clayton Jr. He only got 11 tonight, but he got 7 assists. Will Richard, 14 points, had half of the points going into halftime. He finished with 18 tonight. Made some critical free throws late, including that major offensive rebound that allowed Florida to tie this game in the final minute. 12 points by Alex Condon. He finished with 4 steals, including the game-winning steal at the buzzer. 7 points by Elijah Martin. Nothing bigger than the 2 free throws that he made in the final minute of this game as well for Martin. What a game. Florida tonight, 17 for 21 at the free throw line, 81%. Houston, 9 for 14, 64%. That is the difference maker in an incredible finish to conclude the 2025 collegiate basketball season, the national championship game. Unreal. You couldn't have scripted it anymore. You couldn't have drawn that up. Just an insane finish for the ages that you're going to be telling your kids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids down the line. It's going to be feeding generations for sure down the line. When these families watch and see the NCAA tournament being played in the year 2100, when they look and see that MIT is competing in the NCAA tournament as a D1 program, upgrading from D3 to D1 via computer-generated AI 100+ years from now. And they look back on these computer-generated screens and they see that they flash back to this tournament championship finish, 2025. Wow. What a game in the making, a game of the lifetime right there. You know, all those college basketball video games growing up, they have the instant classics like Houston, NC State, and all those instant classics. Valpo, Bryce Drew, the game-winning shots, Leitner hitting the game-winning shot. All those college basketball classics growing up there that they had for games. This is going to be put on the front end of one of those coming up very, very soon. What a game. 65-63. Florida, a comeback for the ages. 12 points down at one point. They come back and win. Absolutely resilient victory here for the Gators. Just a sensational season, wrapping up an absolutely incredible year for college basketball, where all 1 seeds made it to the Final Four, and this was outstanding. By the way, the streams don't stop from here. I'm still covering live streams for the NBA, the NBA playoffs coming up. I'm not sure just yet when my next one will be. I got a really busy weekend coming up. I got a lacrosse game on Wednesday that I'm broadcasting, and then I got 2 games for lacrosse this weekend that I'm covering, and then baseball, if it doesn't get rained out on Sunday. So I got a really busy week coming up, but the streams don't stop from here. I'm hoping to cover the NBA playoffs, which is that's gonna be absolute cinema. So make sure to keep on coming back, supporting the channel. NBA playoffs start in under 2 weeks from now. In the standings today in the Western Conference, this is insane. Between number 4 through 8 in the Western Conference, everybody has either 3 through 8 is separated by 2 games. Lakers got themselves separation at 48-30. Nuggets at 47-32. But there's 4 teams there, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Clippers, Warriors, T-Wolves, and Grizzlies, all with identical records at 46-32. That's insane. It's gonna be absolute madness coming up in the NBA playoffs. So make sure to stay in the know, be a part here of the channel, because I'm hoping to cover a lot of great NBA playoff streams coming up here in around 2 weeks from now. Going to be absolute madness because there's 4 teams in the West with identical records in the 5 through 8 spots, and then there's only 2 games of separation in front of those teams for the 3 and 4 seeds out in the West. It's just insane. Absolutely insane over there. But we're going to wrap up here. Just a game for the ages. Absolute game for the ages here. Really appreciate you guys for being a part here on the channel, coming out, supporting this stream and this channel throughout the course of the tournament. You guys are the real MVPs. We're going to close out to the channel members. We got Jason Bradley, Warren Kelly, I Am Ghost, the Naija Player, Asia, Ice Ice Baby, Katie Ogie, SGA Sports Talk, Lonely Satellite, Michael John, Norma, Jonathan, Guido, and Mark. Thanks for joining in, everybody, being a part on the stream today. Wow, that was like the best game I've seen probably my lifetime or so, dating back my 29 years of life. Incredible game. Florida gets their 3rd national championship as a program, first one since 2007. And Todd Golden becomes the 3rd head coach ever in the history of the NCAA tournament to win a championship without a single NCAA tournament win entering the March Madness tournament for him. I believe he was 0-2 entering this year's tournament. He lost against Murray State when he was a head coach for San Francisco. And then last year they lost against Colorado in the first round for Florida for Todd Golden and the group. But wow, just unbelievable tournaments. Incredible. Always going to remember this one for sure down the line. You guys, the legends, real MVPs out here to stream. I'll be back coming up for NBA games coming up here soon. I'm not sure just yet. They'll post in the community tab hopefully within the next couple of days when I know, but also hoping to be back in a couple weeks covering the NBA playoffs too. Thanks so much all for joining in. Enjoy the rest of your night. What a finish here. Florida down by 12 points, came back and beat Houston. An incredible finish, 65-63. The final score. My heart hurts for Emmanuel Sharp. I wish he got that shot off so we could at least see a shot being made as the buzzer goes off and Houston with a chance. Instead, the biggest opportunity, just take the shot, don't go down swinging. Instead, he went up into the jump shot, came back down with the ball, and he went down swinging. Man, it's just that just hurts there. Hurts for Houston fans. Keep your heads up if you're Houston fans here. That one really hurt or so, and that's a tough one because you lost the game and he didn't take a shot on the final shot of the game. You're supposed to take the final shot of the game. You can't go down without swinging. Just attempt a shot. If it's blocked, it's blocked. If you attempt a shot, at least maybe there's a foul at the back end of that. Maybe there's a foul that happens. If the guy lands in your landing spot, you never know. Instead, he went up, and then he went down, and man, just crushing right there. At least try, because it doesn't hurt to try, and then it depends on where that ball lands. That's the difference right there. But unfortunate end for the Houston Cougars tonight as Florida came back, and Florida, the national champions for 2025. Thanks all for joining in, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Congratulations to Florida, the most outstanding player for the Final Four being Walter Clayton Jr., averaging 22.5 points per game. He had a 30-piece in the last game in a win over Auburn. Thanks all for joining in, everybody. Concluding the college basketball season for 2025. And enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations to the Florida Gators, the 2025 national champions.